clubs. We bought shoes, hats, gloves, balls, and they just reimbursed us. It was great.
What'd you do for clubs?
Well,
Wednesday.
we rented clubs. They paid for the rental.
Did they get them back?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But they paid for the rental for 2 days.
I thought you were going to say it was stolen.
Yeah, no. But
A lot of times
we bought
they're just late.
We bought all new golf stuff. It was great.
Well, you think some of those people under there, though, are just going through people's shit looking for laptops.
Sure. I mean, but that's what you take the carry-on for. You put your valuables on a carry-on.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to check anything for anything battery.
You just check all your guns.
Yeah, you can check those. You can do that. Did you know
I
that?
thought that they wanted you to put it in storage, because if you have a laptop, are they really worried about?
Are you sure?
Your laptop, because they haven't stopped me from putting a laptop on board.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
No, you can take it on.
Give me some ice cream.
I don't care. Right. Exactly.
Biden will require federal workers to get COVID vaccine.
Did you hear about the football player that gave up his fucking job?
Yeah, I told you, it was Rick Dennison. He used to be a Bronco.
What did he do that for?
Coach.
Because he didn't want to take the
All coaches
vaccine.
are mandatory that they got to do.
Oh, in
Players
the
are
NFL.
not.
So apparently, the NFL Players Association is saying that because it's not FDA approved, you can't force them to take it, and therefore you fired him. He didn't he didn't quit, so you have to pay him his unemployment or his contract.
He's a coach, though.
Yeah.
Look at
Oh, he's a coach. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
thought he was.
No.
look at main story on Fox, man. Remask America. White House, U.S. Capitol reimpose mask
We
mandates,
should.
foreshadowing possible changes across the country.
Your face is one reason they should remask.
I'm thinking about when I go up to play poker in the mountains to wear a mask.
Where did you buy the mask you used to use to cover that big fat fucking head of yours?
You mean a burqa?
Fucking big head.
You do. You have one of those faces that says, you should be masked.
Dan, I'll bet you $1 that the volume of your head is less than the volume of his head.
I know.
Fuck, his head's so goddamn big. Fucking elephantitis.
You know
over
what?
there.
His head is actually normal size. I was calling him little head, but his bulbous body makes his head look little.
Don't mind Dan.
This is like being back in 3rd grade.
He starts that. Just like, you
He
know,
started. I know you are, but what am I?
we do trash talking.
So
He doesn't even hold a candle.
every time I turn on the radio, I hear these freaking commercials of Blue Sky. They cut
In fact, you use all my sayings.
or not really.
You don't got any sayings for trash talking.
They're,
Oh, you'll see when we play. You chickened out today.
I'll do
I
it.
might be able to play tomorrow. I don't know what time I'll be back.
Is that you'll probably hear a couple spots while I'm sitting here today.
Right.
But they're
shoving a
I
scope
mean,
up my
working on
nose.
things are really different.
Up my nose with a rubber hose.
Instead
They're
of
using the same one for the other guy that went somewhere else.
I just wondered if someday I think your commercial is much better. But,
Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
I don't think they've always heard
Come on.
But originally we signed Dave to really do it through the Broncos game, right? Because around here, Broncos Canadian, right? And viewership and exposure, right? So we're just trying to stay. If we reach out and reach 100,000 people, and we get 10% of those people to even come to the website.
We got to talk about
There's an interesting thing that
expected to do.
I watched
What
one of
is something?
I'm almost there.
I watched one of his
When you let me know, I'll do whatever you tell me.
things on
Damn it.
Facebook.
Should I continue doing what I have been doing?
The regulations in California.
No. Continue. They're good till like the 4th or whatever. Anyhow, this week.
Just insane. It's just that's why people can't do it.
Costs a lot of money.
Yeah, and the regulations are just ridiculous.
Bam.
So I think they said it costs like $1 million or $2 million just to license.
Wow.
Do people ever get confused and think you're fucking non-human?
When they look at you and you're,
There's ugly, then there's damn.
like I say, you got a face. Only a mother with masks.
Your face is my case for masks.
You're not bad news.
Come running just as fast as we can. Sure it's gonna help you come in.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, what's going on in your life and how can we help you? This hour brought to you by GenesisSolarCO.com. Boy, do we have a lot of sun in Colorado. On average, 360 days. Take advantage of it. By the way, it's a 20-minute site evaluation, and it's free to see if you are going to produce enough solar to make it worth it. And by the way, it really is 20 minutes free off-site, GenesisSolarCO.com. If you ever want to know about it, if you want to truly pursue solar, you buy it from them, 25-year warranty on parts and performance, meaning they write you a check at the end of each year if they don't meet the savings that they predicted in writing. GenesisSolarCO.com. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We have real CBD that works. We have Panacea Life Sciences with us. We'll talk about CBD if you have any questions on it. A lot of people are trying CBD now. Word's getting out that it really works. 303-713-TALK. I have Rich Harris, attorney at law, to answer a question for us. Rich, thank you very much for being here. HarrisFamilyLaw.com. I've known Rich for many, many years. They have a big firm dedicated to helping people. They have, and I say big firm in a good way, they have specialists, I call them. They have so many lawyers that specialize in different things, or like different family situations and husbands, wives, children, and they do what's called collaborative law, which means that they keep the temperature and anger down to keep the cost down. They're not on to talk about their firm. I just wanted to give you some background. They're on to give us some advice on a very weird situation. And while I'm on the topic, though, they have a free webinar tonight, I believe, every Wednesday night. They also archive the topics if you want to know about what they've talked about in the past. It's HarrisFamilyLaw.com. Rich, this case is weird. Tiffany, I think Tiffany is so discouraged. She's in the mode of no matter what we say, she says that won't work. And I don't blame her. She's just discouraged. Tiffany is a stepmom. She's married to the biological dad, and they have a 17-year-old girl. Get this picture? Stepmom, yes. Biological dad, 17-year-old girl. The 17-year-old girl has been living with them a very long time, but never court appointed. The biological mom abandoned her. The courts never established him as the father. There was a paternity suit brought by him, but she never showed up, and the courts dropped it. I know it sounds crazy, but they dropped it, and they did not pursue it. So he's not on the birth certificate. So right now, he really has nothing to prove he's the dad, which is weird because in a lot of cases in courts, even guys that are not biological fathers are held to be the father just because of this situation. Rich, we've had cases where guys were ordered to pay child support because they raised a kid and they weren't really the dad. But they were ordered to pay support because the kid perceived him as the dad. I mean, but in this case, I'm being told that this guy can't get parental rights. So I don't even understand how that happens. But in any case, this girl is homeschooled. She's 17, and now we got a situation. And here's the situation and why I'm contacting you. She was molested by a convicted child molester, convicted. He pleaded guilty, but it wasn't on this case. But when he was being arrested, Emma, the daughter, mentioned, he molested me too. He was a family friend. Tiffany and the dad I believe Eric, they were very, very mortified by this. But they never pursued charges because he was going to jail anyway. Now he got out of jail. He got out of prison. And they want to get a restraining order because he perceives himself as a family friend and he is looking to get in touch with them. Can you imagine that? He's looking to get in touch with them. He calls her and she wants to do the dang, thing to protect her daughter, this restraining order. She is saying the daughter cannot get a restraining order.
Wait, I got to clarify something. The kid never asked for one. They went down there without the child to try to get a restraining order from the judge. The kid was not there, nor could they prove the kid was theirs.
Wow.
Okay, hold on. Now, Tiffany tells me the dad can't get it on her behalf because he can't show he's the dad. Okay, but here's what I want to say. And he can't prove he's the dad, but he has all kinds of evidence. He has a blood test, a DNA test. He even has a letter from the mom relinquishing her parental rights. I mean, what else do you need, for God's sakes? You have what you need. Bottom line we're upset about is this girl now can't get a restraining order. I believe, by the way, she can. If she goes directly and asks for one and says her life is in danger, I believe she can get one. But Tiffany says she can't. I'm going to disagree with Tiffany on this. I'm going to say that if that girl made a petition to the courts directly, there is no judge in the world that would tell a 17-year-old girl who was molested by a convicted sex-registered guy that you may not have a restraining order, okay? I don't think that would happen. But I want to know this. The reason you're on is a very simple question. What does this man have to do to establish he's the father? I mean, for goodness sakes, I hear men wanting to do just the opposite, Rich. And like I said, the courts hold him to be father whether they're biological or not. You've heard that, right, Rich? Where a guy lived with a woman and the baby was born and the baby was shown not to be his, and the judge says, tough, you were there, you're going to be the dad.
Yes, that's right, Tom. And first of all, thanks again for having me on. My sincere sympathy to Tiffany and Emma and Eric and this whole family. What a terrible,
it's terrible
situation.
How do we help? How can we get, and I'm going to bring her up, Tiffany, right now. How do we get Eric to establish his rights?
Okay. So, first of all, your other question, Tom, you're absolutely right. There's a difference between a legal father and a biological father. There are men who are held to be responsible for child support and everything else, even if they're not the bio dad. It's called a legal fatherhood.
And by the way, we'd be satisfied with anything. It doesn't have to be biological. In fact, if he could establish a guardianship, anything, so he can protect her.
Right. So I believe, I don't know what happened the first time around in the paternity proceeding, Tom.
Yeah.
But I believe that they should pursue another paternity proceeding, get the mom served, and try again in court.
What if she doesn't show up?
Now, hang on a second, guys. We've already done that. There's already a case in Jefferson County open right now. We already have her being served out in Arizona, but they cannot find her home. So they can't find her to serve her right now. And we need this protection order, like, today.
Right.
And I even put in an emergency, declaration to the courts, the whole 9 yards, and they turned it down. And I literally have proof. I'd be happy to email everyone. Like, I've literally done it.
Why don't you have your daughter go down there?
Right.
Okay, so I even asked them if that would work. I literally even spoke with the court clerk. I spoke with, what are those guys called? A bailiff, the whole 9 yards. I was literally on my knees crying, sobbing at a man's
What county is this, Tiffany?
The guy, Weld County is where we live.
By the way, Tiffany.
Okay.
Tiffany, I'm going to tell you something.
Yes, sir.
I personally was in court and watched a 16-year-old girl get a restraining order before my very eyes. Okay?
And
so I don't know why you're telling me. I don't know why you're telling me that Weld County courts would not issue a restraining order if a girl goes in and pleads to get a restraining order. You're telling me they would not do it.
This is what's going to happen. This is what they told me. Because she doesn't have any identification to actually, show that she is who she says she is, that's problem number 1. 2, the molestation happened in New Mexico. 3, if I go down to New Mexico, I don't count. I can't help her. She can go do it down there herself. Problem is, she can't get on a plane to go down to New Mexico.
Where is this guy located right now? Where's this guy located?
236 South Julian Street, Denver, Colorado.
Okay. I don't think it matters where the molestation took place. A restraining order is when she feels she's in danger.
By somebody.
And I already argued all of that at the courthouse. I almost got thrown out.
And Tiffany, again, I'm putting you on hold, Tiffany, and there's a reason, all right? Because you're frustrated and all you're doing is throwing up obstacles. You're in that mode, and I understand it. That's all you're doing. You won't, if I had a solution and handed it to you, you wouldn't take it because you're in that mode right now, okay? So I'm not going to listen to that, okay? I'm just not going to listen to it. Rich, they can't find the mom to serve her. What do? What does a girl do? She doesn't have a dad. He wants to be the dad. They can't find the mom to serve her. What would you do?
Right. So 2 different things. The paternity case, that's a separate issue. They can serve her by publication. You jump through some hoops. I believe they can do it that way. It's not easy on a paternity case, but I believe it's doable. But the restraining order or protective order in Colorado, that's the immediate issue. What she should do, I agree with you, Tom. I completely get why she's frustrated, probably afraid, and all the above. She needs to go down to the Weld County District Courthouse with the 17-year-old in person and ask to see the duty judge, the judge that's there. I would recommend they get there either first thing in the morning or first thing in the afternoon, meaning before 8 and before 1 p.m., and they wait. They tell the court clerk there's an emergency. They must see the judge to get a protective order, okay? There is a challenge because she's not with her legal parent, and she's under 18. Having said that, I agree with you. She walks into a court. She says it's an emergency involving her life and safety. There's a complication on the paternity. They're working that out in Jeffco, but today she needs the protective order, and she's there to testify.
All right, so as far as, hold on, because I want to finish up on the paternity.
Then we're going to see if we can get Joe Lazzara on about the restraining order.
To get the most out of every... Well, it's not 30 seconds. Attend Allworth Financials.
I still don't understand why they haven't gave her a social security card.
Because they're all wacko. God, how come she hasn't brought the daughter down? How come? That's the one part that makes no fucking sense out of any of this.
Boulder and Broomfield. Secure your seat today.
And she hasn't brought up in here, but she told me about her not being a citizen.
For Allworth Financial.
Don't even go down those fucking bunny holes.
Excel Roofing has an excellent EXCEL. ExcelRoofing.com. Excel Roofing has been in business here nearly 30 years, and I know Jay personally, and I can tell you this. He absolutely positively does the job right. In fact, you don't pay a cent until you're content, and he means that. Now, what that means is he'll come in and give you a full and complete estimate before you call your insurance company, so you'll know exactly what you need. And then what he'll do is he will then help you explain that to your insurance company. But the most important part is that you call him first, because you may not have storm damage. You may. It might just be repairs that you need, an old roof, whatever it is. When you think roof, think excelroofing.com. And been in business since '93. 303-761-6400. excelroofing.com. 303-761-6400. Another company I've known from the beginning, Ideal Home Loans. For your next ideal home loan. Brent Ivinson started this in the 80s, and he did it in order to bring a direct lender to Colorado for Colorado, and he did things other lenders don't, like the interest rate guarantee. This now is more important than ever because people are so afraid, oh, they're low, but they may go lower on rates. So they hold off. Don't hold off. You're wasting hundreds of dollars every month. You can refi with Ideal with never worrying about that, because if you refi today and rates go down tomorrow, they'll refinance you free of charge. Low rates are always, you can always get them with Ideal because you don't miss the boat. That's what I'm trying to say. They will be there to refinance you. Also, they do pre-approvals, which are like cash deals. They also do custom terms, so you want that lower rate, but you don't have to go back to 15 or 30. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
But this video, Mark, is a really good one.
Which is it?
It's Robert from Big Bear Center. So fucking good.
From what?
Robert from Big Bear Center. They were going to steal from him, and he started squirting up with it.
Is this something we know?
No, he just, it was on YouTube.
Oh, it's not him. It's not him. It's from him.
Look, is that cool?
That might be fake.
You think?
Do you think it sprays that far, a gas thing?
I think so.
I've never done it.
Let's try.
What do you think they were going to do? Just jack them?
Yeah.
Including Medicare. It's true. High-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the ease and comfort of your own home. All for an
I don't know. Do you think they spray that far?
Stay home. Stay comfortable.
No way. Tell me if you think this gas. I mean, it's a weird fake video to me. Guys pumping gas. These guys are going to jack them.
Oh, yeah. It'll spray like that.
It will?
Yeah.
He's lucky he didn't fucking throw a match at him.
What do you think would happen if that would have happened?
That thing would go up. Hell yeah.
No, but would he get for murder or?
God, I don't know.
Is that fucking cool or what?
Look, they said, fuck this guy.
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine how much they stunk? That whole car. It would take a year to get that.
Probably one of them lit up a joint, too, as a driving.
Probably right. They got a firebomb going.
There was a picture someone sent me.
No, it was just a video. Robert, Robert from...
Send it to me.
There was a... there was a lady, someone sent one. It was a real lady at a real Walmart in Parker. She's out by those propane tanks, the exchange ones. And she's leaning up against it.
With a cigarette?
And one of our listeners took a picture.
Do you have it?
Probably.
I want to put it on.
I deleted it, but let me find it.
Are you done with your chairs? Okay. Joe was there traveling, so I got Mark Craynack to talk about the protection order. Is that okay?
Yeah, as long as it's not that other guy.
Oh.
Oh, I thought he wasn't as
He's
bad.
second string all the time, Tommy. We love him.
He what?
Second string.
I thought he was pretty good, actually.
Do you have a 2 o'clock
He's
today?
he's a slow talker. He can draw out
the record for today.
a
You got the fast talker, you got the slow talker.
Looking to save
He is definitely a slow.
You can get the protection you need at the low rate you want. With all
So the title of the video was, it was worth $4 a gallon.
Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
303-713-TALK, 713-255. Tom Martino here. Welcome. All right, listen, Rich Harris, very first thing, okay, we're going to deal with a protection order from somebody who does some criminal work. But right now, if a person has she has a DNA test. Tiffany, tell us about the evidence that your husband has. You have a DNA test, right?
We have a DNA test. We have an order for paternity. We have a parenting agreement that's been signed and stamped by the Jefferson County Court Clerk's Office. We have an allocation of parental responsibility signed by both biological parents and the assumed father, the ex-husband of the biological
Okay, so what
mother.
the hell, Rich? What else do they need? I mean...
Well, I didn't realize they already had a paternity order. That's what they need.
So what do they do now that they have all this evidence?
Well, I think that if they have an order for paternity...
The case in which we have the paternity order was dismissed, sir. So other than opening a new case, we've been told that that's all that we can do. So that's what we...
The case was dismissed, she's saying, because that other woman didn't show up. So the case was dismissed, and they never got a chance to show this evidence.
Well, wait a minute. She said, Tiffany, you have an order for paternity?
No,
sure.
Tiffany, when you say you have an order, you don't mean you have a court order for paternity, right? What do you have?
I mean an absolute court order stamped by Jefferson County Court Clerk's Office and a Judge Woodward, who has now passed away in 2004.
Okay, so wait. So the judge did say he was the dad?
No, the judge asked him to prove it, and so he did.
And then what did the judge do? The judge stamped it.
The day that he showed up to court to give this parental, test and everything, she didn't show up, and he dismissed the case.
Okay, so you don't have a court order then?
I mean, that's what the piece of paperwork says.
Is it signed by the judge?
Yes, sir.
He may have given him a default order, meaning you think it was dismissed, but he actually granted the order. You could have misunderstood.
We asked the county, and we asked them, and we've literally been there over 10 times. We've been doing this since 2005.
What did you ask the county?
We asked the county who's the parent of the child. We've been asking that question for almost 15 years now.
And what did they say?
I've literally been... Even child support cannot tell me who the parent of this child is.
But you have a court order signed by a judge.
Correct.
Well, then that's it then, and it names him as the father.
Yes, and I've shown this, and it's not proofy enough for the proof club. I know I sound very defeated, and I am not. I am a fighter, and I'm ready to keep going to the mat.
Tiffany, hold on. Rich, why would this court order signed by a judge not be enough?
I have no idea, Tom.
Would you know if you took a look at it?
Yes, and I'd be happy to do that at no charge.
Okay.
This is
I'd be happy to send it as soon as I pull over.
Tiffany, hold on a second. What we want to do, hey, Suze, do me a favor. Let's get that paperwork to Rich just to look at. Rich Harris Family Law. He'll take a look at it. Tiffany, if he thinks he can help, of course, you may have to hire him, but we'll get at least some free advice from you here for you. Thanks, Rich Harris Family Law, 303-515-5000. Great family attorneys. 303-515-5000. Now I want to talk to Mark Kranak. Mark does criminal defense, one of our attorneys on referralist.com. Mark, if a 17-year-old girl walks into court and says, my life's in danger, I was molested by someone, he's a registered sex offender, now he's calling my mom, do you think they would say, no, you're too young to get a restraining order? The girl can do a gender reassignment, she can get birth control, she can get abortions, but she can't get a protection order to save her life.
Well, I mean, the procedure, as you probably know, is you have to go and you apply for it, basically, to fill out it's basically a form, an application, and tell the court what the facts and circumstances are that merit the granting of a protection order, usually, I should say, a temporary protection order, and usually the facts that are necessary to get you to the point where the court will consider that and grant a temporary are you're in danger.
Okay, but hold on, Mark. The whole question I have for you, can a minor do it?
I mean, I don't. The answer to the question is I'm not sure. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if a minor can go in there and do it or not. If there's anything in the law where they're prohibited from doing that, let me put it this way: I'm unaware of that. But I'm not certain what the answer to that is.
Okay, can we find out? Because
yes,
good. Because
I can look into that, and you want to reconvene maybe tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, whenever you can. We'd love to know. She's 17 years old, and as I said, she can do everything else without her parents' permission. I'm wondering why she can't get a protection order to save her life. Okay?
Okay, so she went to court. The 17-year-old girl.
No, she never went to court. The mom went to court, or the stepmom and the dad, and it's a long story I don't want to get into right now. But they said the dad did not have proof he was the dad, so they wouldn't do it for them. But we never addressed if she could do it on her own or not. She never actually went to find out.
I don't see why not, but I'm not certain about that.
And everything I read yesterday about Colorado and law and a minor getting a restraining order said that she could.
Okay, yeah, like I said, if there's anything in the law that specifically prohibits a minor from applying for and being granted a protection order, I am unaware of it. But I can look into it and come back with a certain answer.
Here's what it says from what I've seen here, womanslaw.org. I don't even know what it means. However, it's New Jersey. It has nothing to do with, but in New Jersey, they say she cannot get a restraining order unless a parent does it. So if a child is being stalked, he or she cannot get a restraining order. Which this is New Jersey, of course. And again, that same girl in New Jersey can get an abortion, but she can't get an order to save her life. So I am, the law shouldn't make sense to us anyway. As I said before, the insane are running the asylum right now. So, that shouldn't surprise us. Yes, Suze.
Tom, Rich Harris was listening and just texting me. He said the bio dad with his paternity order needs to go with the 17-year-old to court. If she can't do it on her own, he can do it on her behalf.
With that, did he see
the paternity order?
Did he see that order?
We're waiting. I'm going to get that for him.
If that order is that order, Tiffany says she has the order, but no one will recognize it.
If it's, in a couple months. A couple of months? Yeah. Okay, so not soon.
630 KHOW, Denver.
But she still doesn't have a Social Security card.
All you have to do is you get that in the mail. That's easy.
It's just birth certificate.
Yeah, she has.
Traffic Center. We're looking good on I-75 right now, accident free. I am seeing some slowing on eastbound I-70 though, starting around Victoria and working our way on to southbound 225. There's construction slowing there.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Tom. I'm closing my house on Tuesday.
Yes.
Would you suggest a wire transfer or a check from the wire transfer?
That's what I would suggest.
Okay.
But I mean, you trust these people, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If your title company does it.
Land Title is doing it.
With your impact, traffic and
So I think getting a check and then going right to the bank afterwards.
By the way,
a
little known fact.
Here's a life hack you may know.
Title companies.
It's low auto rates to save money.
That
with
deposit money
Allstate,
into their
lower
accounts.
your
They're
rates,
trusting
not your expectations. Visit Allstate.com.
We had a title company take off
for
their money
today.
And guess what? The people were fucked. QCColorado.com. That's where you can get the QC Whole House Fan. Quiet, cool is what QC stands for. By the way, they're all over the country. Did you know that? But they're uniquely suited for several states like Colorado because it's dry and it has cool evenings and mornings. No matter what, when it's cooler in the lower levels or a crawl space or a basement, oh, my goodness, they work great. I can tell you firsthand experience, I save about 90% on my air conditioning. My air conditioner works only 10% of the time. Now, I'm not sure what you'll do, but you'll save money because QC will cool your house down quicker and keep it cooler longer. QCColorado.com, less than 2 hours to install, and you don't have to go inside walls to wire. It's all remote controlled. It's easy, it's fast, it'll save you money for years and years and years to come. 303-800-3419. Don't wait. This heat, beat it, and have fresh, cool air all night. 303-800-3419. When you want to invest money, you want guarantees? Well, wouldn't it be nice if we could get guarantees? Well, you can on one particular investment, and that is become the banker. You get a guaranteed 4%, and then there's a 1% dividend on top of that they've been paying for like 100 years. So that's a total of 5%, and it's tax-free. And the people that become the banker, the reason they call it that is because you become your own banker by using this money through your life and in retirement without ever paying taxes. Become thebanker.org. Becomethebanker.org.
I like giving back.
Title companies, I don't think they're going to disappear anywhere.
No, I know, but we had a title company that took away trust money, and it was lost.
So I'll have them issue a check at Mile High?
I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I see QC. I saw that as one. So let me do it. Thanks, man. Thanks. Okay, I forgot. I mean, I really just blind this.
Like to the bank after we sign the papers.
I forgot to do this one here. But it was amazing. They didn't have insurance. They were fucking fucked, people.
Was it a small title? It wasn't something as big as like land title.
No, it was a pretty big land.
Really?
It was, yeah, but they had gone bad. They were good, and then everything expired, their bonds, and then the owners took off.
Wow.
What is Blake Harris now?
What is he?
Blake Harris Law. BlakeHarrisLaw.com.
I almost don't want to change it on their filters.
Why?
Because when you Google it, ours comes up before his fucking own website. It's just gonna.
How about saying now Blake Harris Law right underneath the title? If you're looking for estate planning, BlakeHarrisLaw.com, formerly MileHighEstatePlanning.com. He's on my referral list. You can get Blake Harris to answer your questions with a simple phone call, and he won't charge you. You know, I love it. We have all kinds of questions for Blake on the show. You may too. And here's the good part. He'll answer your questions for no charge. Now, when you hire him, he charges flat rates for everything he does. So if you do a will, a trust, whatever, you pay for what you get. It's so clean, so efficient, and he knows it all. You may need a will, maybe a trust too, or a beneficiary's deed, a payable on death certificate, whatever it is, BlakeHarrisLaw.com. You can trust Blake. We do around here. You can too. 833-ASK-BLAKE.
For 60 years, the General has been saving people money on their car insurance.
The General?
Affordable rates and the ability to pick who you pay.
Is he good?
This Bennett that we know.
Every dollar counts and wants to give you the flexibility you need in your busy life.
And the reason I don't always take it right away is because his voice is distinct.
800 General, that's 800 General. Or go to thegeneral.com and get your quote today.
Sounds as distinct as Drew's.
Tom, you helped me in New Jersey in the 40s.
Oh, that guy. Oh, my God.
And the other day, I got hit with the tailgate on a pickup.
On my head.
On his head.
On my
head. No, it wasn't a tailgate. It was a van with.
But he said tailgate.
Yeah, no, but that's what it is.
Right, exactly. It was.
And it came down on his head.
And now I got the wrong insurance because this happened.
He's always fighting. Do you realize that? He's always in a battle with somebody. Always.
Hey, on YouTube the other day, hey, can we get Drew on? I wonder if Suzanne's got his number.
RealCBDThatWorks.com. Let's do it.
Tom.
You know, I made you famous.
I brought you that story in the 60s about the transvestite.
I love this video. Oh, it's the, wait. I don't see the video. I see the, is there a link to the video on this?
No.
It was worth $4 a gallon. Where is it?
It isn't attached to it? Oh, shoot.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, RealCBDThatWorks.com.
So, Jamie, what's new in the CBD world? Any new products or any new discoveries? You always have interesting facts for us. Anything? Any new studies? Dr. Jamie Baumgarten, I don't want to be disrespectful for his knowledge and his PhD. Go ahead.
Mostly, Tom, what we're looking at is how CBD can actually benefit those that have conditions for prescription medications. So, for example, if you're on CBD and you have anxiety and you're on taking benzodiazepines, you'll actually end up taking about 45% less.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So this is a study.
It's a study. So we're doing a lot of research right now.
Wait a minute. It helps antidepressants work better.
Yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
And 40% after 3 months of taking CBD, 40% of patients actually completely stop taking benzodiazepines. Completely stop.
I mean, this is incredible. Really incredible. So give examples of what's the class of medication, sir?
benzodiazepines.
What is a benzodiazepine?
So it's about 10% of Americans are on some form of these type of medications.
Are they the serotonin ones, the uptake inhibitors?
No, those are for antidepressant. So
this is for anti...
These will hit on serotonin receptors, but not the transporters that you think about.
So give me an idea, like what is a medication that's considered a...
Valium.
Oh, okay, like a tranquilizer. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so typically when you see the peen at the end of the medication name, that's...
It's a tranquilizer.
Yeah, exactly.
But it also does help with depression or not? Do we know?
No, I mean, those, you mean CBD? Or,
yeah, CBD.
CBD does help with acute depression. We're still taking a look at more longitudinal studies to see if it will really help bring people out of depression or whether it actually helps with depression medications.
And their real website, I say real, it's panacealife.com, but you can use realcbdthatworks.com. Char, what is your question about QC?
Hello. I called the one in Colorado Springs, and I'm retired on a fixed income. I'm a disabled veteran, and I was told that I had to commit before they would send me any information.
Now, what is that, man? Wait a minute. You had to commit to what? To buying it?
Yes. Now, what I told him is I need I want to know if it's a dream, a ballpark dream, or is it something I can put money away? He says, give me the square footage, and I'll give you a cost. And I said, okay. He gave me a cost. I said, can you please send me something that tells me the warranty or give me a guesstimate or anything like that? He says, no, not unless you commit. And I said, I'm not committing to anything until I know what you're doing. And he says, well, it's all written there.
Weird. We want to call them. Said, wait a minute. I don't understand that, and it doesn't make sense to me. So hold on a second, please. Hold on. We want to call them because it just doesn't.
Who did you talk to?
Who did you talk to there?
Jeff.
Who did you talk to there?
Jeff.
Jeff. I mean, wait.
Yes.
So he told you the ballpark, and then what did you want to know that he said you had to commit first?
To the contract.
No, but what information did you want before signing a contract?
I wanted to see what they did in the home, what the warranty is, and I don't know nothing about it. I just heard the advertisements. I've seen the stuff. My house is hot. I wanted
Wait a minute,
to see...
okay, as far as the warranty, obviously they should tell you what the warranty is, or they should give you a website to go to, and he said no?
No. And then as I'm hanging up the phone, because I said, well, I guess I'm not dealing with you then, he says, well, you don't have to sign the contract. Don't start being rude to me when I'm asking you a question, you know? And that's what he started doing.
I have to figure out, hold on. I promise you that that's not been the experience of the people I've sent. They answer all kinds of questions. I don't understand what happened. I mean, what you were asking about the warranty and about what else were you asking about?
I wanted to see some. I have no earthly idea what they do. I wanted to see.
Well, you can look online, right?
Huh?
You can look online about it. Did you ever go to their website?
No, I don't have a home computer.
Oh.
So, but they didn't even send me there. I pulled up the information off of
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, their website has everything you're asking about, everything. It talks about how it works. It talks about the benefits. It talks about mass air cooling, indoor air quality, the various products, the warranties. Okay, I don't know. That's unfortunate that he couldn't take time to talk to you. We'll check it out though if you want to hold on and not hold on, but give us your number. We'll figure it out. I mean,
sure.
I just don't know why. Maybe he was in a bad mood or busy or what. Mark, Jeff is the guy that you deal with?
I don't know who Jeff is.
Neither do I.
I thought maybe...
Because I talked to Jared. Man, Jared will answer any question in the world.
Yeah. And I guess worst scenario, I know Plumline sells that same brand too, but I think something got strange on this one.
I think Jared should know about this. He'll want to know about this, Shar, okay? Really. He'll really want to know about it. Hold on.
Tell your smart device to play.
Yeah, she doesn't. She can't. QC Colorado has everything. But all she wanted
Quiet,
was
cool, 10-year warning.
I think the guy didn't have patience, maybe.
What's standard WHF? What's WHF?
Can I say something? If I were a
Full house fan.
if I were a listener, and I know you do the QC commercials, I would get Jeff on the phone right now and hear his side of it.
It's not Jeff. It's Jerry.
No, but that's who she talked to.
Well, we don't know who he is, though.
Well, I would get somebody on the phone, because now it looks like you're not.
Yeah, we should try. I agree with that.
That's all I'm saying.
Ask her to get somebody.
Can you see if you can get someone from QC on, just whoever we have on the contract?
Springs.
Yeah, because I always tell people when I say, Tom, if you go to the referral list, Tom will hold their feet to the fire, and if you're not happy, he'll get your problem taken care of.
Yeah, look again. We definitely don't want her.
Who?
Maureen, who's
she's
the agent.
She doesn't know anything.
She's going to look and see who's on the contract.
Excel Roofing. I talk about it like it's my own company because I've known this company from the very beginning. Excel Roofing, EXCEL, and I know the owner personally. Now, that doesn't mean it's a guarantee, right, when I say I know him personally, but I can tell you that as a company, it's run the way you want every company to be run. The owners take responsibility, the employees take responsibility, the supervisors that he puts on each job takes responsibility. And that means that they care about the end result. That's why they can proudly say, we don't take a cent until you're content, or you don't pay a cent until you're content. So roof rip-offs are all over the place. Not with Excel. A local company since 1993 with more than 30,000 satisfied customers. I'm one of them. In fact, they've done more than one roof for me. And here's what I want to tell you. Whether it's damage, old age, or a storm, call excelroofing.com, 303-761-6400. Okay, this sounds like a broken record, doesn't it, when I tell you about how I know people? Mitch Fleer with the Art of Granite. You see, this is not a blind list I have at referralist.com. This is not a blind radio show. This is where I know my advertisers, and I know them personally. And not only do they know them, I love their products, or I wouldn't talk about them. And that's the God's honest truth. TheArtofGranite.com, he has so much pride in what he does. He is the only guy that'll give you a price phone. Why will he do that? Because he's proud of the value he offers. Tear out and haul away is free. The bathroom's free when you do the kitchen. Wholesale on all materials. Call for your granite or quartz or any kind of countertop you want, and you'll get a price. TheArtofGranite.com, 303-386-5919.
Okay, I found Roger Michelson's phone number. Should I try him?
Roger's
okay, but I missed the call. What am I going to tell him the questions about?
A lady just called up and said they wouldn't give her any warranty information.
She said, well, she talked to Jeff, who seemed rude. He would not give information unless she committed to the contract. She had to sign the contract before he would tell her about the warranty and stuff.
Okay.
To me, that doesn't sound right, but see if Jeff recalls any of that.
Do you want to share Jared's number? I don't have Jared's info. If you would prefer him.
He's the son, so I don't have it. I mean,
okay. I thought maybe you had his info.
No. But Michael said he's the son.
Okay.
Let's see. No, I don't have it. Let's see here. There it is. The video. Okay, so 10.
Call us today for your free in-home estimate. We'll even take 20% off our already low price and receive 0% interest when you call today. 720-5.
You know, I posted that security guard on Show Me Trouble. Why did he get so rambunctious, that security guard?
Oh, you mean the one that pushed that black kid?
Why did he do that?
That was a pretty good video, man.
Yeah, why did he do that?
Look, he pepper sprayed him.
You know, right in the beginning, without any provocation.
Because he's a wannabe and because he thinks he has the power to do it.
You know, the kid did pretty good,
No, they all did.
They did pretty good, man. I don't think I could have kept my cool like that.
Hell no. I can't believe they were so restrained.
They were. I was really impressed by that, actually, man.
Well, they probably had good parents who told them, look, you're a young black male.
Yeah.
People are going to come after you, so you need to show restraint. I think that's just good upbringing.
Yeah.
I mean, I never had a conversation like that with my kid.
Okay, Asian Cafe. Shanghai Garden.
What about them?
I'm just buying these people lunch.
Oh, that's where we order stuff on Monday night at a poker game.
Oh, Shanghai?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I hope they deliver to this joint.
They're on Parker Road, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Really good Chinese food.
Oh, I gotta make this fucking call. I didn't get a son of a bitch. I told her to leave a voicemail.
Oh, Tom, by the way, you're supposed to keep that on silent when you're on the air.
It is.
You had 2 calls.
I know, and I don't know why. It is on silent. Look, it's on silent.
Just give me your hard time.
I know what it is. It's the computer. I have the computer on.
Oh, okay.
It's ringing through my computer. Hi, Tom Martino.
Your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Karina, let's get to Karina. She's calling from Florida. Karina, what's going on?
Hey, Tom.
Hi.
What is going on is that I entered into a contract with a company that was going to remodel my pool deck. And the contract was signed in February.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it has been delayed multiple times.
Now, was this just the deck that they were going to do?
Correct.
What were they supposed to do? Tear out the old deck or cut or put a coating on it?
They were supposed to tear out the old deck and put down travertine pavers.
Okay. Now, what happened?
What happened is that it took a long time to get it started, but when it finally started around June 26th or thereafter, when they went to demolish the old deck, my understanding after everything that's happened is that the person who was using a jackhammered straight down past the deck into all the pool pipes. Multiple times.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did they damage your pool plumbing?
Yes.
Oh no. What are they going to do about it?
Well, they've already fixed 3 separate pipes that when you look at them, it's clear that the jackhammer is what damaged them. They also broke the pool skimmer.
But are they making good on all of this as you go, Karina, or are they just, what are they doing? Why are you calling? In other words, are they not making good on it or what?
They're making shoddy fixes and are not contracting out to an actual pool repair company for most of them. And I'm seeing paver workers making the fixes to the plumbing, and the leaks are still ongoing after more than a month of my pool leaking.
Hold on. They didn't cover up any of the shoddy work where it's leaking, did they?
Absolutely, they did. I asked them.
No. Hold on. You should have just stopped work because now they may have to tear up what they've done to get to it, right?
They keep having to do that. I asked them to stop everything. Do not lay down a single paver until everything is fixed. They kept assuring me that it was fixed and just laid down the pavers without my permission.
What's the name of this? What's the name of this company?
The name of the company is N. Ricardo's Brick Pavers.
N. Ricardo. N as in Nancy?
N. Ricardo, like Ricky Ricardo. N as in Nancy, yeah.
Ricardo. Got it. As in Ricky Ricardo. I love it. Okay. N. Ricardo what?
Brick Pavers.
Okay, well, you know what we do here? We get in touch with them. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And as I understand it, you know Deputy Smarty Pants, or Marty. Do you know Marty?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Hey, Marty, since you know Karina, do you want to handle this one with N. Ricardo?
Yeah, I'll handle it. I don't know her personally.
No, I know that. I mean, she's in your in your neck of the woods there, and you heard about it.
Yeah, I promised I would take it.
Yeah, and here's why. If we have people unleash on them, Karina, we get good results. But before we unleash on them, we give them a chance to come through, okay? So you hang on. Do you have her information, Smarty, or does Sue's got to get it? Does she have to get it for you?
Yes, Suze has to get it.
All right. So what I want you to do, Karina, hang on. Suze is going to get the information for Smarty Pants. Hey, Smarty, what other updates do you have?
Oh, okay. I have Barbara Snyder versus ASAP Travel Agency, or ASAP Tickets.
ASAP, that's right. What happened there?
I was able to get through to the representative.
And what I want to say is she, in February, bought some tickets to Tel Aviv, to Madrid, blah, blah, blah. This thing was a whole cluster because of COVID, and they'll only refund half. And it's really not her fault. So what did they tell you?
Well, we were able to figure out where the money went, where the extra money that she's not entitled to.
Yeah.
And she paid for insurance. She paid for 2 different insurance policies, and travel insurance is never refundable. It was about $300. So
is that okay? So they're going to keep $300 for the travel insurance.
And there's other fees. I mean, she signed it. I mean, whether it's fair or unfair, she agreed in the small print that there's cancellation fees and this fee. So she's entitled to $757 refund, and I'm able to expedite that. I have the representative. I'm on his case, literally.
Good.
And I think he's sick of me. So he sent me an email this morning. Don't worry, I'm on it. And he gave me time parameters that he's going to have it done.
Gosh.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, in addition, I will say I got a hold of the media, or I got the email address of media relations.
For where?
I sent them an email asking if they could do a little bit better for her.
Okay, good. Listen, I know you have other ones, but I want to hold on with that. Also, we have a question or two emailed to us about about Real CBD or Panacea Life products. We'll talk about. And if you have any calls, get them in. We will get to them soon. Shar, we're also calling QC Colorado to find out why there was a disconnect and you getting information over the phone. And we have more coming up. I'm Tom Martino.
That's amazing about tranquilizers, how people were able to get off them. That's really amazing.
They're very, very addictive. The benzodiazepines.
I don't know how people get addicted to that because they make you feel so goddamn lethargic.
They knock you down, yeah. But they're,
I can see the painkiller thing because that doesn't make. But the tranquilizers make you feel like shit. I mean,
they put you on the couch.
That's how I always felt about pot. It makes you feel too lethargic to me. It's just like too subdued.
Oh, what's interesting is that THC, so pot, didn't do it. It was only the CBD containing material. So CBD is doing a couple of different things.
That pot doesn't.
That's what I was going to ask you. There was an article I read on YouTube. They just referred to an actual article that there's been some research that CBD really doesn't help you with sleep. All it does is relax you.
Well,
no. But there's a difference between what?
It could be an anxiolytic.
Yeah, right. There's a difference between something like Ambien.
Well, I know, but I'd rather be relaxed and fall asleep than have something put me to sleep.
Well, what I'm saying, but there's a difference.
Yeah.
So when you hear these other people advertising CBD as a sleep aid, they don't differentiate between relaxation and putting you to sleep. I think people have different expectations.
Well, but they put melatonin in theirs. Melatonin does help you fall asleep.
Yeah.
It does.
Right.
Well, so CBD won't make you go to sleep.
Right.
No. What it will do is help you stay asleep.
And it relaxes you.
So part of it has to do with the anxiolytic activity, reducing your worries, makes you calm.
but also,
has it been tested on neuropathy at all for people?
Yeah, absolutely.
It does well.
It's still early days, small patient sizes, but and neuropathies, Tom, are all over the board, right? So fibromyalgia, diabetes in terms of the diabetic neuropathy, chemotherapy neuropathies. So there are different mechanisms. Overall, it works better than gabapentin.
What is that?
Really?
What is GABA?
GABA is it's an ion channel inhibitor, and so
What
ion channel inhibitor. So
What is that?
It's a non-opiate pain reliever. Is what gabapentin. So if you go to your doctor, they'll give you 3 days of opiates. After that, you've got to go on something else.
But give me an idea of what a GABA is. What is it?
Gabapentin just names a drug.
I know, but is it dangerous? Because, like, I wonder why my doctor would give that. Because I won't take opiates, but I wonder why he would tell me about that for like a back pain or something.
I talked to Jeff with QC.
Is it because it's too heavyweight or too?
No, you'll typically do Flexerol and
Is he coming on?
No, but I talked to him.
And then if you continue to have that chronic pain, you talk to him about Neurontin, which is gabapentin.
And is there an over-the-counter version of that? No.
I don't like GABA. It's not a very good drug.
That's what I want to know. Why?
Because you get to the dose that's efficacious for killing pain actually makes you go to sleep. Sedative dose.
Oh fuck, that's terrible. Well, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't want that either. So it makes you sleepy and drowsy.
Right. So at the
Yeah, can you tell me if you deliver to our
that
address
actually
here?
kills your pain?
Well, then that's useless then, basically.
But for a
because
lot of
you can't
people,
function.
for physicians and people, it's the only
Oh,
alternative
okay,
they have.
thanks.
So you're going to use it now.
I wish they could come up with something as a... Well, you know what? The truth is, opiates aren't effective. That's the truth. They really aren't. You know what? When I took opiates, or whatever it was, I took Vicodin or whatever, really didn't kill my pain. It just made me light and did not care. That's truly what it does. I mean, if you really examine it, I never really knew that it killed pain. I had surgery, and I'll never take it again because I like them. And I said, no, this is their bullshit. Because I was feeling like without it, life wasn't happy. And I said, fuck that. But that is... But really, I never felt truly, even when I analyzed it, I said, why do I like this? And I would go like this, and I'd still feel the pain where I had surgery and shit. But does it have an analgesic effect? Yeah, of course it does. Well, see, then why do they put it in with, they always mix it with acetaminophen or with ibuprofen or something else. Why?
Anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a difference. And, the acetaminophen is to keep fever down. Okay. The NSAID is...
But I truly never had it work for pain ever. Not really.
You may need a higher dose because you may be acclimated to it.
But also, post-surgical pain is really strong pain.
Yeah.
So it may have helped, and I didn't realize it.
Right.
Yeah.
I talked to that Jeff guy, but he's not coming on, but
Jeff. What did he say? What is it?
he said, I'm not real sure who you're talking about, but I did have a lady a few weeks ago who insisted we mail her the contract, not email it.
Oh.
So?
Okay.
Why would you mail it?
And then he said, in our warranty, we're proud of our warranty. We always go over that, but the warranty isn't in the contract. It comes with the system when it's installed. There's a pamphlet with the warranty. He goes, but I wouldn't keep the warranty from anyone. We're proud of our warranty.
But she wanted it mailed, not emailed.
And he wasn't even sure if that was her. He's just saying, I don't know who you're talking
about. They won't mail a contract? They won't mail one?
I don't know if they refuse to mail one. I just
ask them. I want to represent them well. I'm not trying to be conflicting here. I'm trying to help. Just tell them that.
Jesus, I don't have this fucking bullshit.
Life hacks. What would life be without them? Here's a life hack you may
No, I didn't know fucking delivery got so fucking complicated.
Will they deliver here?
That place doesn't even open until 4, dude.
Or call an agent for a quote today.
Are you curious when you should take Social Security? This is Kurt Cambier. Visit my website now.
I'm trying to think if there's a place around here that I know about.
No, man, this place is no. I'm not having it delivered here.
Oh.
Securities offered through Cambridge Investment.
Where are you having it delivered?
Basically Arapahoe and Jordan. Arapahoe and Parker Road. There's like 8 million. There's even a Chinese movie theater there, but there's no fucking Chinese restaurant. I mean, give me a fucking break.
Even in that big shopping center that...
Not one.
On the south side of Arapahoe?
Not one.
Wow.
Free of charge, complimentary. If he takes the case, it's only payable if he wins, and it's a small percentage of what he collects. Why should you be the one to suffer? 303-597-4500, 597-4500 on the referral list at referrallist.com. So much more than a fixed frequency from a radio tower.
You know, it's that old thing, no good deed.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I'll buy you guys lunch. Now that's all fucking complicated. What do you guys want? We want Chinese food. Okay, well, there's not a Chinese restaurant in 50 fucking
Who are you going to buy?
Premium auto glass.
Kids do Uber Eats.
We're buying them.
I am.
They do you a favor?
Not a favor. They just did a great job on something. I fucked up. In other words, I forgot I had an appointment, and they still got
ripped off. Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Yes, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by One Clear Choice Garage Doors. The one choice for garage doors. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. When I recommend people take it to the bank, OneClearChoiceDoors.com for springs in an emergency, like you can't get the door open, to new openers, new doors. I've had about 6 doors. I've had about 7 openers. I mean, I've done business with them for years. 24/7 service. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Now, listen, we looked into the QC Colorado thing, and I'm not going to belabor this, but Shar said she didn't like it. She called, and she said they wouldn't give her a bunch of information over the phone, and they wouldn't mail her the contract. They wanted to email it, and we talked to them, and I don't know where the disconnect is, but we talked to Jeff, and he said, look, we have a warranty we're proud of. It's on the website. Everything's on the website. We I might have been busy that day. I'd be happy to email her stuff. She wanted us to mail stuff. And so there was obviously, I think, the clash of the generations or whatever. And I don't mean to make it sound like older people shouldn't be accommodated. I'm not saying that. And Char felt like she wasn't getting the information she wants. I'm still not sure exactly what she could not get. So, Char, I love these people at QCColorado.com, but one thing I do on this show, I always say this, and it's to improve business or to protect myself, obviously, from bad companies. I always say I want to hear your experiences with the people I advertise for, and it's valid. If your perception is you were not given the information you wanted, they can use that to get better. So
never did I ask to mail it to me. I wanted to talk to him.
That was a different one, Tom. But Jeff might be coming on. He just has to clear it.
And again, Shar, he was trying to think of who he may have talked to and had a problem with. And he said this one woman wanted something mailed. So tell me exactly so we can at least help them improve. What was it? What was the disconnect that disappointed you?
That I had to commit before he would send me a guesstimate.
Okay, I don't know what that means. How the hell can you commit to something before you know what it will cost? He said, wait a minute. So he said you had to sign the contract before he gave you the price?
No, he said I had to commit. Then he would send me the information for me to sign. And I said, I will not commit to anything that I know.
Well, I don't even know what that means. You have to commit before he sends you information to sign. So what if he sends you information and you don't sign? Then you're not committing. So I don't know what that means. I honest to God don't know what it means, Shar. It makes no sense to me. Why would anyone say you have to commit and then I'm going to send you a contract?
And that's why I was asking you, because I've never heard of that crap.
I'm going to find out. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to find out. Charlie, what's going on with you, Charlie? I think I remember this, the Jeff Jolliffe scumbag. By the way, Jeff Jolliffe is on the Sleaze Brigade. I believe he's also on Show Me Trouble. By the way, we posted some new stuff on Show Me Trouble. That's Instagram, Show Me Trouble. I urge you to go there to see what we post from this show. What did you want to tell me about Jolliffe?
I was just seeing if you guys had anything else on him, but the thing is there's nothing on my truck. I just got off the phone with the PD out there with Chief
and I want to bring people up to date, okay? Because this is horrible what happened. Charlie had a truck there for a transmission, and like a lot of people, the transmission sucked. Okay? Bad. Right. And then you brought it back for warranty work, and he said, we're not going to do it. And then you called us, and it had sat there for 3 weeks. And he said, we're not going to do it until we got involved. Then he said he was going to take care of it. Now, remember, folks, it sat there 3 weeks. Now, after it sat there for 3 weeks, and we talked to him, and he agreed to fix it, the very next morning, what happened? Tell us. What happened the very next morning?
He gave me a call and said that the truck was missing. And he actually said that the cops are actually being
The truck was stolen, he said. So a 2008 Chevy Silverado lifted. And by the way, it was there for 3 weeks because the transmission failed after 2 weeks. I can't believe the day after he says he's going to fix it, he said it was stolen.
Right.
Jolliffe is a scumbag. We've said it. But, man, there's nothing we can do about it. I don't know how you take a guy to small claims court because your truck is stolen. He's going to swear to God it was stolen, and I don't know how you prove it wasn't stolen. It's a mess.
As long as I can prove that the truck was in his possession, and that's where you come in because you talked to him, and he said that he actually had the truck there.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yes, that's all I need is...
get an attorney and sue his ass. Listen, we'll help any way we can, Charlie. Suze, get Charlie's information and tell him how he can get in touch with us. I want to go to Jared. Jared Michelson, one of the guys I deal with at QC Colorado. I believe he's the owner of that operation. Jared, are you and your dad the owners of that QC Colorado?
My dad, yeah, I run it, but maybe one day.
All right, so listen, man. This is, again, Shar said she called and talked to a Jeff, and she was upset because she didn't think he was forthcoming with information, and she said he wouldn't send her a contract unless she committed. I don't even understand what that means, but listen, I want to be open about this, and I know that everyone I've sent to you they've been happy and elated. You were very open. You told them about what it would cost. You told them how long it would take. You told them everything. So I don't know exactly what she's talking about, and she's on the line with us. Her name is Shar, but obviously her impression was Jeff said, now Shar, so you said what? And he said you have to commit first. What did you say?
I told him I was retired and I wanted to know if this was a dream or something that I could get. Can you give me a guesstimate? And he said, I can give you the exact if you give me your square footage. And then I said, okay, can I see something in writing? Do you have a warranty, anything like that? And he says, no, I won't do anything until you commit. And I said, what? I'm not committing to nothing. I want to know if I can afford it. Well, it's all written down. And once you commit, I'll send it to you. And then as I'm hanging up the phone, because I said, well, okay, fine, I'm not interested, he says, well, you don't have to sign the contract.
Hold on, Shar, maybe, wait a minute. I kind of understand what he's saying. Wait a minute. If he said to you, oh, Shar, it's going to be this much money, and we can get it done so-and-so, if that's good with you, I'll send you the contract. I mean, had he told you the price?
He told me the price, but he didn't tell me anything about it. What's the warranty on it? I wanted to see more information.
Okay.
I wanted to talk more information.
But I think what he meant when he said, I'll send it to you. You don't have to sign the contract. I think that's what he was saying. Look it over, and if you don't like what you see, you don't have to sign the contract. Maybe he wasn't trying to be a smart aleck. You know what I'm saying, Shar?
Well, his voice was raising.
I'm trying to listen. All I'm trying to do is reconcile this, because, honest to God, it's the first time in 3 years of doing this with them I've gotten one complaint. The first complaint ever. And that's why, Suze, when you talked to Jeff, did he seem like he was being curt or anything?
Such a nice guy.
I mean, could it be, Shar, that you misunderstood him when he said, hey, you don't have to sign the contract? In other words, if you want to commit to this, if you think this sounds good, I'll send you the paperwork. I don't want to waste my time unless you want to do it. I mean, maybe he could have said, and then he said you don't have to sign it. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. Jared, do you have any ideas? You are in charge of operations. What do you think he was saying?
Yeah, and it's exactly to your point. Is what happens is customers will call in with a myriad of questions, which is great. We're here to answer those questions. Typically, one of those questions is, how much is it going to cost? And then that's how we figure out the system sizes. 7 different models for different sized homes.
Right.
And then square footage is needed. And then if the customer says, yeah, I think we can do that, or, still need to talk to my spouse, or whatever it may be, then Jeff or whoever it may be will send them over an email order form that has their address on it, the system size, and the price that they're going to pay. And then if they want to move forward, you just sign it electronically. That gets kicked into the office, and the office calls to get out there to get you on the schedule. And then obviously our guys do an inspection prior to install to make sure everything's going to go perfectly.
Jared, I think,
that's how it works.
You know what, Jared? I really believe that Shar, and it's nothing against Shar, she's probably used to the sales around the kitchen table or going to a place and finding out all the information. And you have that all on your website and stuff. It is kind of a new world. And I don't know, Jared.
It is, and we're happy to send whatever information somebody wants. I mean, it's a 15-year warranty, if that helps. But Shar, you're certainly welcome to call back in, and we can email you, the warranty information, whatever. And then if you decide you want to do it, great. And if not, that's okay too.
And you know what, Suze? Maybe what you do is get Shar's permission. If she wants the owner's son here, Jared, operations guy, the guy that runs the whole thing, to call her. So maybe she'll talk to him again, because Shar, you'll love it, by the way. So Jared, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, we appreciate you guys.
And I want to make this clear: you advertise a lot during the hot weather, but do you guys work year round?
We do work down. It's a certainly slower time of year during the winter months. The systems do a phenomenal job from a cooling aspect, as you know. But in a winter time, it's really more about indoor air quality, so that you're getting fresh air into the house and not breathing the same recirculated air. So little different usage during the winter, a little slower time for us.
But you guys are around. That's the point. Okay,
100%.
Good. QCColorado.com.
I donate plasma with BioLife because I like giving back.
I donate plasma with BioLife because people with immune deficiencies need my help with that. You donate plasma with BioLife.
Jimmy, let's get into
because I get paid.
I donate plasma with BioLife.
Hey, Suze, you got the email question too, right? Oh, sure.
Whatever your reason, BioLife makes it easy to earn up to $900 in your first month of donating. BioLife. There's purpose in your plasma. Visit biolifeplasma.com to learn more.
I love reverse loans for specific reasons. If you're 62 or older, it could really do good for you. That's why I recommend Approval Reverse, because I trust Joan Sullivan and Rosemary and the team to take care of you. If you're considering a reverse loan, think about it, because it could be a retirement tool to help you tremendously, whether it's a lump sum or monthly payments. A loan you don't have to pay back, ever, and you'll never owe more than the house. It's something that gives you the right to live off your equity without ever paying tax on that. ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528. You know, Colorado Pain Care is the place to go for your pain care. I'm going this Thursday again for a follow-up. They've been really helping me with a flare-up of back pain I had after many years. They did immediate action. Then they, with a trigger point thing, that they gave me immediate relief, right? An injection. And then they got me the physical therapy. and dry needling. There's some really good remedies they have, and I'm getting better and better and better. ColoradoPainCare.com, 303-GOT-PAIN. TheArtOfGranite.com is the website, and Mitch Floria is the owner, and he will give you a price on the phone if you know what you want. He does all solid surfaces, anyone you want. Granite, quartzite, marble, artificial, whatever it is, theartofgranite.com will sell it to you at wholesale, and they'll tear out hallway free, they'll do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen, and they will give you a price on the phone. A beautiful showroom in Golden. You can arrange to visit if you want, but you don't have to. Give a call, 303-386-5919.
I don't like this grub.
Okay, I got it, Mark. If I don't come back, they've been trying to get a hold of me, and I want to fucking call this back. All right. I'm sorry.
Did you find a place to?
Yeah, fucking grub up.
Oh, what about the sunrise? Oh, you got to go through.
You know what? I shouldn't complain. I'm not fucking eating it. I just know these fucking people. I'm telling you, man. How many? Just go to YouTube and put in fucking people in Grubhub, man. It'll nasty you out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know how they make money.
I'll tell you how they make money. It just cost me $85 for Chinese food.
Yeah, but how much was the actual Chinese food?
61.
They charged that much.
Yeah, the fees and it made me tip the driver $10.
Really?
Why do you fucking tip someone before they even show up? I mean, how do I know if he's going to be good? Isn't that kind of fucked up?
Well, that way he can eat more food.
What's that?
He can eat more of the food because he knows he's already got the money in his pocket.
Did he already do the spots, or do I have to do it?
Only big spots.
Listen, I have some good news for you guys. Researchers at Harvard University found that men who ejaculate at least 21 times a month could see their chances of getting prostate cancer slashed by 1/3.
Why is that?
They do what?
Why would that be, though, Doc? Why would jerking off help there? It's not even saying jerking off. It's saying ejaculating.
So basically,
you're the doctor. Why does that help with not getting cancer?
In fact, that raises your PSA.
Not necessarily.
Oh, absolutely. Having sex raises your PSA level. You got to wait 3 days before you do that.
What are you fucking talking about? You got to wait 3 days after having sex
to get your blood drawn for an accurate PSA. Want to bet me? Let's bet. Let's bet.
I don't fucking care, man. I just can't imagine anybody sitting around.
The more you flush.
Hey, honey, I'm sorry. I got to wait another 36 fucking hours.
Well, it is there, little head, because it happened to me.
Yeah, fuck nut.
The more you.
First of all, I don't think you've ever had sex with anybody.
Well, no, he has a kid.
Yeah, okay.
Once.
Adopted.
Once.
You bulbous body.
Fat head.
The more you flush out the ducts.
No, that's it. Look it up. Look it up.
Let me finish.
So, listen to Dan's newest. You ready for this? You've got to wait 3 days after you have sex to have sex again.
No.
That's what he said.
This is how Mark
That's
does
what he said.
This is how he does.
That's what he said.
Is he wrong or what?
I think you're going to tell me
This
to
is
add
what
a
happened.
player
You got
for it.
little
She's
head
already
on a
talked to
bulbous
add a
body.
player.
Sorry, bro. You can say whatever you
No, I don't know why
want.
she was.
You got to wait 3 days to have sex twice.
No, what are you talking about?
You get an accurate PSA. You got to wait 3 days after you have sex.
What do you do?
Bulbous body here gets it always wrong.
No, your PSA
looking
can be
through,
elevated falsely.
Okay, falsely.
That's what they say.
You didn't say falsely. You did not say falsely.
Yes.
It all started because Doc said.
Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So, let's keep going here. I'm going to take you in the order you've called in. Brent, what's going on with you, Brent? What's happening?
Hey, thanks for having me. So back in beginning of November 2020, I was coming down from the mountains, and there was a tow truck driver. He had it was king towing out of Loveland. They had the road shut down, so we came to a complete stop. They were pulling a trailer and an SUV out of a ditch. long story short, they pulled the trailer up first. I was sitting in my truck, stopped. And the owner of the towing company was outside of his vehicle, and he told his guy to stop. You know, they got the trailer up on the road, so they were going to stop and regroup. So the guy didn't hear him. He pulls the trailer into my truck. Okay, so he was super cool about it. He, he's like, "Oh, we'll get you taken care of." I needed some other unrelated body work done, and I didn't really have anybody to take it to. So, I figured since he was being so responsive about it, I'm like, well, do you have a recommendation for a body shop? And he did. So I took it to a place called LS Automotive out of Loveland as well.
Okay.
They gave me the estimate to fix to get it fixed, and they recommended replacing my rear quarter panel on my truck. So I texted him with that estimate. I sent it over to him. I'm like, here it is. He says, okay, looks good. Get it on the schedule. I want to get you taken care of. So I get it on the schedule. I get it taken in. I verbally verified. I had the estimate, and I verbally verified.
Well, were you getting more repaired than he damaged?
What's that?
Were you getting more repaired than King Towing damaged?
Yes, I filed for my insurance on what I needed to fix on my truck as well.
Well, how did you know how much to allocate to King?
He took care of it out of his pocket, his portion.
I'm asking you, how did you know how much of the total bill would be allocated to King?
I didn't know.
Who did know? In other words, what was the total bill?
I don't know what my bill was for my portion. I forget. I don't have that receipt handy for some damage on the front of the vehicle. And then I didn't know, they didn't even write a cost for the repair of King Towing. They didn't write how much that was.
But they did separate it. Brent, they did separate it.
Yes.
Okay, so they did it.
And they were saying low 2200s or something.
Okay.
Low 2200s to replace it. That was to replace the part. That was on the estimate.
Brent, the replaced quarter panel was what King damaged? The old one? The old quarter panel?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what they damaged. Yep.
How old is your truck?
It's a 2016.
Okay. The reason I ask, and I don't even know what you're calling about as far as the trouble, but if I damage someone's truck and the whole quarter panel had to be replaced, I would question it. That's all I'm saying. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't pay for it, but if there's just a portion of it damaged, and there's some other damage on it that I did not do, I would want the owner to participate in that repair. I wouldn't want to carry the whole cost. But anyway, keep going. What happened?
Yeah, my damage was on the front of the truck. It wasn't even on that same panel.
Okay,
so
okay. So you mean to tell me that the damage King did was bad enough that the whole quarter panel had to be replaced?
Yes, that's what the body shop recommended. Was
got it. I got it. Okay, so how much was that going to cost? $2,200, you said?
Something like that. $2,250, $2,280, something like that. Yeah.
So have you gotten paid?
So he decided to pay out of pocket. King Towing did, but after I got that estimate and I sent it to King Towing, unbeknownst to me, after I got that estimate and I took the truck in, King Towing called up LS Automotive and says, hey, don't replace the panel. It's too expensive. Just repair it, bond it, and paint it, right?
Okay.
And I didn't know that. I didn't know that until after I found my panel.
Hold on. This is what I'm getting at, because King did exactly what I would have done, and that is, does it really need to be replaced? Okay? Now, I'm not saying that I would accept Bondo, by the way, but if it wasn't that bad, it's not going to do much harm. I don't know. I mean, are you saying you want the whole new quarter panel and you're not satisfied? Is that what you're let's just speed this up. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know the automotive shop is partially at fault here, and I'm trying to get them involved too. Because if I have to go to
I want to know this: how does it look?
It's cracking, and then there's rust starting to show through.
When was this done?
November.
Wait a minute. November. Oh, and now you're going back because You let it go through, though, because it was November. And we're talking more than a half a year ago. And now you're upset because it's failing.
Well, yeah, and I was under the impression that they replaced the panel. I didn't know.
You never even found out. Yeah, you never even found out. When did you finally find out that they didn't replace it?
When I seen it cracking, I text the auto body shop wouldn't answer his phone. So he would text me, and he texted me, and he told me, no, we just repaired it because the owner, the guy who paid for the repair, which is King Towing, they just said, don't.
All right, here's what I would do.
Just repair it.
Here's what I would do. I would, we can call King for you, but King's going to say, hey, we repaired it. And I hope you didn't sign anything saying that that was full and final settlement. But bottom line is your insurance should have been, you could have gotten your insurance involved. Right now, it's messy. It's messy. This repair wasn't done right. It technically is LS Automotive's problem, technically. You see? Because they did the repair. So are they going to make it right?
I can't even get a hold of them now. They shut down their shop. It looks like Google says it's permanently closed, but I've talked to a few people who have told me that they're operating out of Greeley now.
Oh, man, you got to forget it. You got to really, you got an uphill battle here, man. You really do. So, since the shop's not available, you're going to have to go after King and kind of hope that they're dumb enough not to fight it. You have to go after them for a breach of like a contract. They agreed to fix it. It's not fixed. They're going to say, yes, it is. We did what we had to. You're going to say, no, you didn't. You never replaced it. But if man, this is too bad because right now they're closed. If they're closed, how did you find out that King negotiated with them if they're closed?
The guy was answering. I got good text messages with LS Automotive, and LS Automotive told me, that we only repaired it because the guy paying for it, aka King Towing, said just to repair it. So,
but they should have told you. They should have at least told you, man. I don't know what
exactly. They should have raised the. See, they're both pushing me back and forth. Is basically.
Well, here's what I would do. Listen,
they both did me wrong.
Brent, I can have Deputy Doc call them, but here's what I would do. I would sue King Towing for what it would cost to fix that right. That's what I would do. Whatever it will cost, I'd sue him. I'd sue him for it. I'd say, look, I don't care. I don't care. You did the damage, and it's not fixed. There it is. Look at it. Take pictures. It needs to be fixed again. You're the one that recommended LS, not us. I would put it on their lap and say they have to fix it. And in small claims court, you can go up to $7,500. Now, if you want, we can give them a call, give King a call. Have you tried calling King yet? Brent, I put him on hold. Hold on. Have you tried calling King yet? Brent, have you tried calling?
Yeah, I called King. Yeah.
What do they say they're going to do?
They said if you want a new quarter panel, you pay for it yourself.
Well, how about just fixing the old one the right way? What do they say about that? Well, listen, that's what you got to do. You got to go after them for fixing the old quarter panel, whether they replace it or not. Susan, if you want us to give him a call, we'll give King a call.
This is Denver. We don't have anybody on these swap boards, do we? I thought we had someone. Yeah, that sucks.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Allstate.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, I-25 traffic a little off the normal pace now northbound between 225 through to Yale. Once you get past Yale, things improve, but your drive downtown on I-25 a little sluggish, but not bad. No reported accidents or stalls there. I-70 looking good. Watch for some slower traffic with construction on the ramp from eastbound I-70 onto southbound 225. Denver weather, sunshine and dry today, a high of 98. And if we reach 98, that would tie the record. An overnight low of 66. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and continue dry, a high of 95. Currently, it's 89. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Looking to save money this year? Look at Allstate.
You do.
You need at the low rate you want. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit Allstate.com
I
or
can't
call
believe we
an
don't have
agent
it.
for a quote today.
It's amazing.
If you have an old roof that's wearing out, or you just need a repair, or there's storm damage, in any case, when you think roof, think Excel Roofing, as in excellent, E-X-C-E-L. Jay Bretz and his team will make sure you get a complete and thorough estimate detailing exactly what you need. Do you know how important that is? Most roofing companies won't even do that. They just say, oh, don't worry about it. We'll work with your insurance company. That's the sign of a bad roofer. I'm telling you that right now. A sign of a bad roofer. A good roofer will tell you what you need and what it will cost. Then you deal with your insurance company. Always call a good roofer like Excel first. ExcelRoofing.com. 303-761-6400. 303-761-6400. Where you don't pay a cent until you're content. They'll tell you if your roof is good or not, or if you have storm damage, if it is covered by insurance. Locally owned and operated since '93. More than 30,000 satisfied customers. ExcelRoofing.com, 303-761-6400.
It's got to be purely liability, or there's just no money in
There's
it.
no money in it. That's what B says. That's the only ones that they were getting. Is that there's no money in it.
Well, then, you know what they need is the company's just got to charge more. I mean, it's to the point there's no one doing it.
And you're doing it on the roof normally.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking on the liability.
Okay, this guy wants to try to reach out to him first and see if he gets it. So instead of calling now, so just call him after the show and find out. But here's my question: is this name Drew?
Yes.
Mueller? Mueller? And
You could
this
get a
phone
plumber,
number
I'm sure, to
belongs
do
to
it.
Drew?
Yes.
And it's
People
to set
aren't
up
going to
this
want
woman.
the price.
But these chimney sweeps,
Okay.
they do their
To come on the show. And what's her title?
She is, and they were used to working on the roof.
Is this a cell phone?
Highly recommend.
I wonder.
Another client said, we didn't have to carry two mortgages. Didn't have
And they're very simplistic. It's just like changing filter, cleaning out, switching the fan out.
Go to Orchard.com now. Enter your address and get started with a free valuation. It's that easy.
She is,
Patient's right advocate.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Patient's
right
right advocate. Okay.
Now I know drinks during the week. My cravings are gone. I've lost weight.
Something set up. Okay. Okay.
Okay, got it?
Yep.
Life Back is a unique, physician-approved program for those who want to cut back on drinking or quit completely.
I feel bad for this guy.
Improve relationships, get healthy, and start saving money today.
Because his fucking head's so big, it's so ugly. Damn.
Got a face that only a mother will ask.
I'm drinking 4 bottles of whiskey a week. I didn't want to go to AA or rehab, and I didn't want to quit completely. Now I don't drink during the week, and honestly, I'd like to see.
Life Back is a unique, physician-approved program for those who want to cut back on drinking or quit completely. Suppress the craving, improve relationships, get healthy, and start saving money today. Drink less, live more. Get your life back. Call or visit lifebac.com now.
888-559-8858. Cool down your summer and get her what she really wants.
I think that's gotta be a load of crap, don't you, Mark?
What's that, bro?
It's life back that you moderate your drinking.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Every shape, every size, every style.
Yeah, but what's the one that helps you,
attributes?
No, quit smoking. It's not that old, but it's probably 10, 15 years, right? I've known a couple people who did that and it worked. They took these fucking pills and they quit smoking.
Really? But if you put them on attributes,
Yeah, they said the dreams
every
were,
time
they
you
fucked with their dreams.
you can throw up. But what does that mean? So that you after 2 drinks you start taking antabuse?
Shit, I had a.
You're supposed to take antabuse in the second you have 80 alcohol.
Right.
Then it just, or like you go to like the Medicor spin dry clinic.
Right. So what I'm saying, so this life back
what are they going to say? Don't take any, you have to drink one, drink two, and then anytime you take another drink, take antifreeze?
Well, the cigarette one kills the actual craving, so you don't crave the cigarette.
Well, that actually binds the nicotinic receptor.
Right.
I mean, wouldn't the alcohol one do something similar, you would think? No. Different shit.
It's got so alcohol actually goes through the GABA system, so gamma-aminobutyric acid. So, just different mechanism.
Got it.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
713-TALK, 713-8255, here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little easier. All right, Suze, what's your email for Dr. Jamie Baumgarten from Panacea Life Sciences? Do you have an email question for him?
I do. It's is CBD balm and hemp cream the same thing? If not, is one better than the other?
Well, so one thing that a lot of manufacturers will do is they'll confuse hemp seed-containing oil that they put into cosmetics versus cannabidiol. So you want to be very specific that you're looking for CBD in that product. And manufacturers are required by Colorado law to give you a certificate of analysis showing how much CBD is actually in that product. So again, just to recap.
All right, so CBD is different than hemp oil.
Correct.
Totally different.
Correct.
Does hemp oil have any of the properties of CBD?
No.
Ha-ha.
So hemp oil...
Where does hemp oil come from as opposed to CBD oil?
From hemp seeds, which contain no cannabinoids or terpenes or any of the healing properties.
None of the benefits?
Nope.
Then why do they even do hemp seed?
Well, because there are moisturizing capabilities for that oil that you can put on your skin. But it won't have the healing properties that you're looking for with cannabidiol.
Very, very interesting. I didn't know that. So if you want CBD products, do not get hemp seed oil. It's not the same. 303-713-TALK. Candace, what's going on with you? Hello, Candace.
Hi.
What's going on?
How are you, Tom?
I'm doing good.
Well, good. You had a show on a couple days ago with Adam Slater, who's an attorney for pelvic mesh cases.
Well, the pelvic mesh, yeah, but not the hernia mesh. It was for a different mesh lawsuit. Yes.
That's correct. So you did all the pelvic meshes, correct?
Well, what we did was
or he was talking about the pelvic.
Yeah, and the reason he was talking about the pelvic mesh is because we know him to be a good and the firm to be a good class action law firm, and we were getting inquiries about the hernia mesh failing, and as a result, we asked him about it, and he did not know anything about that particular failure. And anyway, what about it?
Well, so he was, so I do know that he takes, very high dollar pelvic mesh cases. And, it's kind of complicated because my question
is yours the pelvic mesh? Is yours the hernia or the pelvic mesh?
It's pelvic, correct.
Okay. Well, hold on. I thought when you say he takes high dollar, I thought it was a class action, which means it's all class, all people in that class.
Okay, so some are class actions, some are actually going to trial.
That's right,
so
and he said the ones who have a better chance of getting more money would go to trial.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. So and I've been in contact with Adam in the past. And
will you please tell me about pelvic mesh? What was it used for in your case?
Okay, so usually, after women have children, their bladder and their uterus will prolapse, and
it drops.
I mean,
and it lifts up the floor. Basically, it rebuilds it.
Yes. Well, yes, that's what the mesh does. Correct.
And that's what you had done.
That is correct. That is correct. Yes.
And when you had it, how long ago did you have it done?
Okay, so when we first put it in, it was November 2007.
And did it fail?
It did.
Okay, and how did it fail?
My OBGYN was telling me that my body was rejecting the mesh. These are important words. My body was rejecting the mesh, not that the mesh was the problem. I don't know if my OBGYN even knew the mesh, that they had been starting these class action lawsuits, because I know these go back many, many years.
Well, there's almost $1 billion. There's almost $1 billion collected on these meshes, so there's got to be a problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. And all
it
the
might be over $1 billion by now, by the way. So anyway, your particular case, don't you fit into one of the classes already filed?
Well, so there are so how they do it is by tiers. So and it has to be, and how they're defining the tiers is how many revision surgeries have you had under anesthesia in quotes. So in my case, I was having problems almost immediately after surgery, and they were doing in-office revisions every other week.
Well, how would they do an in-office revision? What would they do?
They go in there and they clip part of the mesh, the mesh that is becoming exposed into the vaginal area.
Okay, what I'd like to know now, Candace, you sound like you would be part of a class, right? Of a class of victims. So if you are a part of a class, have you filed for a settlement?
Okay. My attorney didn't want to put me in one of the class actions. He wanted to take this to trial with a jury.
Because he thought there were more egregious. He thought there were more egregious losses.
Probably.
Okay, and
I'm
did your attorney? Did your attorney?
All along, he said he was never going to put it
do it? Did your attorney do it?
He did file for a trial. Yes.
And what happened?
That was, 2015. That's when he filed.
And
then it sat.
Where is it right now, Candace?
Sitting on the attorney's desk.
Okay, so you wanted to find another attorney who may take better action.
Well, so what's happening now is that my attorney is now saying, now they're getting into the settlement talks. And my attorney is basically saying, well, Bard is the manufacturer in this case.
Yeah, Candace, we don't want to get too technical. I want to hear what the problem is.
That's fine.
Okay. No, seriously.
The problem is,
yeah,
I understand. The manufacturer is saying that there's a statute of limitation situation, which my attorney, when I first hired them, I had asked them, I know there's statute of limitations per state or wherever.
You mean they never filed to keep it alive?
Meaning like what? I guess.
Well, when you file, you keep the statute of limitations alive. Did they file to keep it alive?
They are talking about from the time I knew the mesh was the problem from the time I filed, that time period.
Oh, they're saying you should have filed sooner. Hold on.
Tell your smart device to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio.
She's like...
Yeah, no, that's why I kept my mouth shut.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, fuck. Have you ever installed those pelvic meshes?
Yeah.
Did they fail?
None of my patients ever called me and said it failed.
Have you done them a lot?
No, I just did very few of them because we...
But my mom was way before mesh. How did she had to have a lift?
Yeah.
Well, what did they do before mesh?
They did what's called an anterior-posterior repair, where you use the fascia, which is
right in there already.
Yeah, and
you basically tighten it up.
Right, you tighten the fascia, get rid of the excess tissue. We did a lot of those.
Is that better?
It turns out, yeah, because they don't fail. It's more extensive surgery, but if it's done right, they don't fail.
So I wonder why these meshes are failing.
Yeah. Well, because they eat through, they have a sort of an inflammatory reaction, and the tissue around the vaginal can be very thin, and it can wear through the tissue and be exposed, and then it gets destroyed.
What was the mesh made of?
Some kind of supposedly...
Genesis Total Exteriors also has Genesis Solar, CO.com, Genesis Solar, Colorado, GenesisSolarCO.com. A lot of people don't think of solar because they think, maybe it's going away, the credits are going away. It's not. Solar is very much alive, especially with energy going up and up and up. And here's what I'm going to tell you. They will guarantee the performance for 25 years and go so far as to write a check at the end of every year if they don't meet your target. But they also guarantee the components. You can get a 20-minute site evaluation free, remotely, to see if you have a great lot for solar. GenesisSolarCO.com. Give them a call, 303-474-4317. If you're looking for a loan, Ideal Home Loans is a direct mortgage lender started in Colorado for Colorado. What I love about Genesis is that, what I love about Ideal is that they will help you get a loan that best suits your condition. If you need to pull out money from equity and then pay that part back quicker to get rid of high interest debt, they can show you a plan for that. If you just want a refi period, you can do that. If you want to buy a home, they can help you there. If you want to pre-qualify to make your offer like Ash Deal, they can help you there. So that's why it's called Ideal. It's ideal for you depending on whatever situation you're in. And here's the best part of Ideal Home Loans: the interest rate guarantee. If rates go down over the next 2 years, they refinance you free of charge. Find out more at idealhomeloans.com, 303-867-7000.
Well, Dan, it's supposedly made out of some kind of non-reactive.
Sorry.
Supposedly,
yeah. And it's,
In
just,
her
like that,
crazy email, if you want to read it, because you'd understand it better than me, what I get from it is because she's a tier 1 and not a tier 3, attorneys just don't want her case. That's like, it just there's no money in it. But I don't know if you want to read through all of her medical crap. I don't know.
No, I don't. Okay. I don't even want to decide if it's a good case or not. All I'm going to say is, I will talk to her and kiss it goodbye, because if you can't get an attorney on contingency, they don't like the case.
And what she's going to say is, yeah, because my damages aren't the same as a T3,
which is absolutely true.
So no, it's an injustice to her that an attorney won't take her case.
It is, as in every single, but that doesn't preclude her from hiring an attorney and doing it.
Yeah, but it sounds like she already has an attorney.
Well,
can she go back to class action then?
Sure.
You can jump?
She can be part of it.
Yeah, I don't, and there was something about...
Unless it's over.
They were cutting the stuff out of her tissue, the mesh, but they were saying it was the body, not the mesh, and then somebody says it's the mesh, not the body. I don't understand all that stuff, so I don't know.
Hey Doc, remember the Dow breast implants, silicon breast implants?
Yeah.
The huge thing? That was all fake, right?
Meaning what?
That it was not the silicon breast implants that were doing anything, right?
What was it?
I think it was, isn't that how you understood that?
Yeah, I forget what the real reason was, but it wasn't, the silicone wasn't causing the reaction.
And they were sued by, billions over that.
Right. But then they did switch to saline just to get rid of the lawsuits.
And they still have silicon.
Yeah. And they still have saline too, which feels much better.
Well, I heard the saline isn't as, I don't know, it's harder?
No, I thought the saline felt more natural than the...
Okay.
I mean, I've had women, literally, I had 3 or 4 women come into my office, and I go in to examine them, and they open their, hey, Doc, what do you think about these? I just got them done. No shit.
No, I know.
They're so proud of them.
Yeah.
And I say, well, if you're happy, that's what counts. It's the only thing you can say, because anything else could be considered sexual.
Right.
So I just said, well, if you're happy, then that's what counts. And that was as non-sexual as you could be in that situation.
I listen to that Saris on Doc Radio and stuff, and they get into different things, and that's one of the things. I thought they said silicon was more expensive, but it felt more natural. I thought that's what they had.
Well, with my girlfriends, I thought the saline felt more natural. So that's only personal experience.
Sure.
But you really have to put your professional face on when someone says, hey, Doc, what do you think about these? Mark would have a fit.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK,
713-8255. So bottom line is this. Let's just get right to it. Candace had a mesh lift inner pelvic area after childbirth or after child rearing, whatever. She needed it. She got it done. It was failing. Without getting into the medical details, now there's a question of statute of limitations, or at least that's what the manufacturer is posing in settlement negotiations with her attorney. And really, we need to figure out what to do from here. Candace, I'm just going to say this, okay? Sometimes the establishment of venue, which is not only place, but it's also jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is not only place, but jurisdiction can also be the statute of limitations. That can be argued. Unfortunately,
exactly.
If they're going to argue that, you got to do this whole thing separately. Like the standard is should have known, not necessarily must. Like for example, you didn't know the mesh was failing. You thought your body was rejecting it. You were given wrong information. There's all kinds of arguments to keep it alive. I can't get into the statute of limitations. Okay, all I can say is this: that if your attorney does not want to fight it, there's nothing you can do about it except get another attorney. And every attorney you have will be faced with the same dilemma. Most attorneys want knockdown cases. They do not want cases they have to spend a lot of time just getting past statute. So that's one big problem. To find an attorney to get past the statute of limitations question. The second big question is damages. Is it enough damages to even warrant the trouble to get past statute of limitations? So in similar cases you may have looked up, have you seen what damages have been awarded in the past, similar to yours?
Similar to mine, I would say they're anywhere from, $25,000 to $70,000 up to. I've had one that was very similar to mine, who only had one revision surgery, and she was $1.5 million.
Yeah, and here's the problem now. 1.5. I hate even telling you this.
There's a big gap.
No. I'm going to go right to the top. $1.5 million is not worth taking the case to fight statute of limitations and then to get experts in on the case. I know it's such a ridiculous world right now that you're not going to find a contingency attorney. Now, you may find a schlock contingency attorney. You're not going to find one that does med mal or product liability for 1.5. I swear to you that right now, attorneys that do that work, they want a minimum of $5 million, a minimum, to go through the work. They have to invest their own money and hire experts. And in your case, just to get past statute of limitations, they have to prove all kinds of stuff. They're going to have to pay more than $100,000 for experts, let alone finding a court to hear them. It's terrible. But Candace, I don't know what to tell you. If you can't find an attorney, they won't take it. They won't take it.
Let radio advertising keep your business top of mind with customers all summer long. Visit iHeartAdBuilder.com.
Now, if she has a specific question, I'll take it. But really, honest to God, it all boils down to that. Will an attorney take it?
She wouldn't need an expert for statute of limitations. That's what a lawyer should do, right?
No, she would, because here's why. The standard is should have known the mesh was failing. Her doctor was telling her that her body was rejecting it, not that it was failing. So she'd need an expert to say, by all indications, it looked like her body was rejecting it. There's no way she would have known that it was failing.
It's on medical opinion, not a legal opinion.
Right.
Oh, okay.
A medical opinion based on...
Right,
well,
no, I get it now.
We all thought her body was rejecting it. We had no reason to believe the mesh was failing. I don't know how you do that. I mean, how do you do that? That's hard to do, isn't it? I mean, it's really hard to do.
The mesh failing, you would have to see the actual breakdown of the mesh. With her body rejecting it,
whatever.
Yeah, it would be a very difficult thing to say.
I mean, that's where and that's just to get into court.
Yeah.
I mean, or just for Just to file the goddamn thing, they're going to fight her.
Why did she say she didn't want to do the class action? Her lawyer didn't want to do it.
No, she can't. She can't get in.
I think she thought that she was, because of her particular situation, she get a bigger settlement by going to court.
To make sure that we're saving lives. In Tokyo, the U.S. leads the medal count at the Summer Games. Fans and athletes still stunned by gymnastics.
Boy, Kathy's out there with a mask on. She's scrubbing down everything.
No, she was the one that took the chair.
No, I just haven't seen her wear a mask for a month. I haven't seen anything. I wonder why all of a sudden she's wearing it.
Probably because of the Biden thing. Or the CDC statement.
You usually have people calling in about these on PFAs.
Look at this. Mandate mayhem.
Perfluoro or polyfluoro compounds.
Ooh, I haven't heard anybody. What is that?
So they're forever chemicals. So you ever see the movie Dark Waters?
Yes, I loved it.
What is it?
It was about Teflon, wasn't it?
Yeah. So this is a
Teflon's poison water.
Well, Teflon. Think about waterproof carpet. These are compounds that the body can't break down, and so they're used in a lot of chemical coatings for water repellent and heat. Originally developed to actually coat tanks in World War II, and then they started making in the 50s Teflon and everything else. But a couple months ago, Channel 9 actually did a survey for all the water systems out here in Colorado, especially in North Denver Metro, that we're starting to see higher levels than recommended safe.
Where does it come from?
Well, it comes from a lot of different sources. So oil and gas may be using this to coat some other pipes, firefighting, fire retardant in terms of foam. So like forest fires, all those forest fires last year are going to be a pretty big issue with this stuff running off in the water supply.
Boy, makes me glad I got fucking well water.
Well, you're not necessarily protected either. So if somebody has a fire next to you, and it leaches into the soil and actually can enter your well system.
Geez, I mean, our aquifer is, God, it's probably 125 feet under us. It'd be a hell of a...
I mean, so you're probably safe. But like,
yeah, you're right, though. I didn't think about that. But isn't that what people worry about fracking, too? Like, it'll cause some kind of...
I don't
get the water system.
It is, but fracking is way deeper. Normally and stuff. There's nothing like within a few hundred feet. But when fracking does is when it comes on up, the frack water afterwards is put like in a pit, and that's what leaks into the water.
What was the one that that big poor town, man, and all their water was fucked up? They had oil.
Parkersburg. Oh, you mean Flint?
Flint, yeah.
No, that was lead.
That was lead.
But
that was their old plumbing.
Yeah.
But that was their fault. They switched water sources, and when they switched water sources, they should have added something to it.
And something happened
because
up in the mountains recently, too, in the last few years. One of those old...
you're in Denver.
One of the old gold mines or something.
Oh,
that's leaching crap into...
You should see up there and stuff. That's everywhere. There's whole towns there that they can't drink the water.
How's the water where you're at up there?
Good, but I'm like 300 feet or 600 feet deep. Oh yeah, that gold mine stuff up, that stuff up there, there was no regulations back there. That's leaching everywhere.
Well, like Central City, that's all city water, isn't it?
That's all river water.
Oh, it is?
I'm pretty sure it's all river water.
I see that, maybe that's to clean the water coming up.
That is. That's brand new. You mean the new filtration plant?
That's brand new. Yeah, on the way up to Central City.
6?
No, it's on...
119. 119.
Yeah.
And they did that because all the leaching from up above that was, yeah.
Where's it go from there when it leaves that facility,
It goes down that river that ends up flowing into the one coming up 6. What is that?
So they're basically just cleaning it before it goes back in.
That's exactly right.
So what did that issue say, now that I charmed it?
No, it's just, it's something that we were taking a look at. It's kind of, it is an issue. It's going to build up as they continue to use these chemicals, just because they last forever. The only way you can destroy them is heat them up to 1,000 degrees Celsius.
How about all the filtration and shit? If you got to do it,
you can filter it, but you have to replace your. So like in your fridge, for example, it's always a good idea just to use like a Brita or a Pure or something like that, or if you have a reverse osmosis system.
Well, I mean, my fridge has its own filter.
Yeah, as long as you're replacing that, regularly.
Yeah,
it should be fine. Yeah. But for people who's drinking out of the tap, it's going to be an issue you can hear more and more about. Originally, again, Dark Waters, it's actually a pretty good movie, but they played a little loose with the facts. But here's the thing with these chemicals: 20 parts per trillion is the safety limit.
For what?
For the PFAS. PFOAs, the perfluoroalkylate.
Only 20 parts per
trillion.
Are you shitting me?
That's 2 drops in an Olympic pool.
You can't get rid of it.
Would 2 drops in an Olympic pool hurt you?
It won't hurt you immediately, but as it builds up in your system, you can get kidney damage, you can get infective damage, so on and so forth.
From what?
From the PFAs, PFOAs, the perfluoroalkylate.
In Denver, it's starting to show up in the water.
Are you shitting me? It is. Who told you that?
Channel 9 did a report
in the Denver water?
Denver Metro.
In the tap water?
Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by Claims Pro. Now listen, we love public adjusters. Here's the message. You need a public adjuster, someone who works for you if you have an insurance claim of any magnitude. In fact, if it's too small, they'll let you know. Go to referralist.com. You can look them up or look up Claims Pro at publicadjuster.pro. They work for you to increase your insurance claim. Not to screw the insurance company, but to keep them from screwing you. You can even revise old 2 or 3 year old claims that you may have not been treated fairly with. You can reopen them. Publicadjuster.pro, Claims Pro. 833-252-4600. Now, I want to talk about anything on your mind and anything we can help you with. That's the bottom line. Bennett, I know you waited quite a while. You have a question. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry for the wait. Go ahead. Bennett?
Yeah, Tom. I'm so far beyond pissed at CenturyLink. Every day, my dial tone line goes down. I call in, and I get a Raja in India that doesn't speak English after 45 minutes of hold time. And I'll bet that I've called them 21 different times.
Now, hold on a second, Bennett. You said something that really doesn't ring with me. You said something.
What's that?
That every day or every other day your your dial tone goes out?
My dial tone goes out.
Are you are you talking about a landline?
A landline.
Bennett, you have a landline?
Well, I worked at the company when it was a good company for 35 years.
But landlines, I don't know anybody still has landlines.
Well, it's free for me because I worked there that long.
Yeah, but free, but big deal, right? Okay, so you're not paying for it.
No, but Tom, here's the other thing. The DSL, when I call in and explain to them, the dial tone is gone, but the DSL is working. They work on the same cable and pair. And I've talked...
I don't know what to tell you. The company's dying anyway. I mean, what do you say to a dinosaur that's dying?
We might have an angel over there.
Yeah, we do. We'll help you.
Well, Tom,
what did you do there, Bennett? What did you do?
I was a 911 technician.
What does that mean?
That means we put in all the 911 systems at all the police agencies, the hospitals, police stations, 56 places.
Yeah. What do they do now for 911 with a cell phone?
E911.
Yeah, I have no idea what they do now.
Do you dial E911?
No. You dial 911.
And then it gets you to E911? Or
No, it gets you...
It knows where you are.
Yeah, basically it routes you to the correct 911.
Yeah, and like I said, when this DSL goes down, our phones are down too.
But when the phones are down, your DSL is still active.
It is sometimes, but now it is down in the dial tone on the landline.
You know, I know
too.
you're frustrated, Bennett, and I don't mean to make light of it, but
No.
But do you really depend on the landline?
You know, Tom, I'm thinking about junking it, to be honest with you.
That would be good, but you get it free, so I see why you wouldn't. And
here's the other problem, Tom. If I do junk it, our cell phones will not work when the DSL's down.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, if you junk your landline, you can't choose to keep just your DSL? Do you have to take both?
No, I can choose to keep the DSL, but it goes down, like I said, almost every day in this heat.
Wait, your DSL goes down too?
Yes.
Now, your DSL, why are your cell phones dependent on DSL? Is that because you don't have cell coverage and they're doing Wi-Fi?
It's Wi-Fi.
Okay, so hold on. You don't have cell coverage then where you are?
No.
Where are you?
I'm way out east of Aurora.
Okay.
But, you know, I did talk to 3 or 4 technicians in the last few days who are working where this system is, and to a man, they are saying that they just don't care anymore, the company, and they don't know what to do.
Well, they don't care because they're putting everything into fiber.
You know, I just wish there was a way to sue them. I really do.
Well, there's not, especially when you're not paying for it. Bennett, listen, man, I hear your frustration, honest to God, but it's a choking, dying dinosaur. It's like, you know, people who say, I didn't get my Denver Post. I mean, you know, it's like, what do you do about it? You know, it's just one of those things that this is a dying industry. They're not going to do a lot to care. They aren't. They're dying. I hate to just tell you that and then be on your way, but that's the truth. And suing them for what? There's no standing. I mean, these guys just suck.
Well, they do. And what gets you is 45 minutes of hold time.
Oh, God.
And they don't speak English.
That part I don't understand. I don't know why they have remote call centers. Bennett, listen, I appreciate you voicing your disdain, your disgust, your frustration. I'm sure others have it. We are living in a very weird time right now where some businesses are choking out, new businesses are taking over, and I'm not saying it's all better. A lot of the personal touch is going away. I mean, we don't really have the phone company anymore like we used to have. It's not happening. It's not. And fewer companies are having more services providing. Amazon, Google, Apple, these are companies that are going to take over almost everything. I'm serious. And really, we're going to have massive corporate ownership of almost every aspect of our life. And that's why when we get into this opinion versus freedom of speech thing, it gets really, really hairy because it's way more. I know freedom of speech was originally about the government. It means the government can't infringe your freedom of speech. Everyone else can. That's what's weird. But what else? What when the other entities become actually more powerful than the government, more ubiquitous, a bigger spreader? It's weird. You know, it's funny because in broadcasting, when we were using the airwaves, we had to guarantee freedom of speech and equality on the air. We had to submit reports quarterly to the FCC showing how we're doing equality or an access and how we're doing freedom of speech. We're not suppressing free speech. Now, obviously, they had vulgarity rights and all that. Then cable came along, which muddied things up, and now the Internet. But you see, really the Internet should be, I think, handled just like the FCC handles airwaves. I think there's the same responsibility to social media people for open and honest access. I mean, according to the standards they're now applying. If Facebook decided that Republicans or Democrats were violating their community standards, which, by the way, they can set any way they want, it's a private company, so long as it doesn't discriminate based on the exact law right now. So if they simply say, you're not following standards, they can nix out an entire political voice on Google, on Facebook, YouTube, everything, on everything, just by saying we don't agree. But the way the laws are now, that's the way it is. Because they're a private company, they can do that. If they wanted to do that, they can do it. They can. And they don't have to have a reason. So long as it's not because you're black or white or because you have a certain religion or you're a certain age. If they do not like your political view, they can axe you completely out. And it doesn't even have to be vulgar. They don't have to say you're inciting violence. They don't even have to say that. They do that now to cover what they're doing, but they don't have to. They can make whatever standards they want, and according to the rulings now, they're allowed to do it. But is that right?
Well, another platform could pop up, though.
That's what we say. But when certain platforms get so powerful and then shift, see, if they were like that from the beginning, my argument is they wouldn't have grown. Then to grow and then switch is kind of taking advantage of the freedom in this country and then switching back to more of a dictatorship. And it's kind of, they've already seized the power. So yes, other platforms can emerge, but can they emerge like them now? It is an unfair advantage. They took advantage of all of our freedoms, but then actually when they got what they wanted, clamped down on only their beliefs.
I agree, but we're just a blip, man. I mean, 100 years from now, who knows what the hell's going to be going on.
I understand that. I understand that. It's just too bad because I think, listen, even the crazies, even crazy people should be heard. I think we can discern who's crazy and who's not. I mean, honest to God, we can. We really can. You know, I think we all have to just be thinking, right? And I have more faith in man and more faith in human, in us, that we're not going to believe every crazy thing that comes down the pike. And I know there are some that believe a lot of stuff. Now, Mark, what kind of commission check were you denied?
Can you hear me? Yes. Hi, Tom.
Hey.
So, in a nutshell, I worked for this company for 8.5 years. I resigned on June 24th, so I had worked 19 of the 22 work days in June, and then resigned on June 24th, left on June 25th. They are denying me what I earned and what I worked for in June.
Now, is that based on any employment contract?
Well, in January, they gave us a sheet of paper, or 2 sheets of paper, which outlined a new comp plan, which explained it in detail. I believe, in my opinion, that they said it was just describing it, and we were signing that we understood it.
Hey, Mark, let me ask you something. It doesn't matter if you understood it or agreed. I'm getting an echo. We got to work on this. I'm going to come back to you. It might be a Bluetooth headset, but my voice is coming back to me. We can't have a conversation. Hold on.
Donating plasma. Why? Well, because it helps make life-changing medicines that treat people with rare diseases. Well, why? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Why? You sound like
You ever go through that with your kids?
Oh, yeah. You tell me, buddy. BioLife Plasma Services needs life-saving plasma, which is why new donors could earn up to $900 in the first month.
I've gone through that. Why? All the way.
BioLife. There's purpose in your plasma. Visit biolifeplasma.com to learn more.
Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. I know this company inside and out. I know the people that work there. I know the people that market. I know the people that own it. I know Brent Iveson, who started it. And I can tell you one thing. The company is set up for the benefit of you, the borrower. And, of course, they thrive because of that. The very first thing that you need to take advantage of is the interest rate guarantee. How could you ever not take advantage of that? You don't wait. Rates are low. Even if they go up, you still need Ideal, because no matter what, when you close, you're guaranteed that if rates go back down or down further, you get refinance free of charge, whether you're buying or whether you're refining. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. The interest rate guarantee. In fact, they'll take a free second look at the loan you're applying for now if you don't like the way it's going. You're never tied to that lender until you close. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. Frank Duran, TheRealEstateMan.com, will do a free market valuation of your home for the asking. Now, you may say, what is a market valuation? I can get that on Zillow, or I can get an appraisal. It's different than that. It tells you what the house will bring in this market, and Frank bases it on 26 years of experience. You really need to know the real story when it comes to your house. Then you can make some wise decisions on whether you want to list or not. Or you might want to improve, and you want to know if it's worth it. Frank Duran, TheRealEstateMan.com, will tell you. 303-920-1622. That's 303-920-1622. Remember, this is way more than an appraisal because it's based on actual market conditions. Frank Duran, TheRealEstateMan.com. And if you're buying or selling real estate, of course, that's where you call, 303-920-1622.
You can't have the best of both worlds. People tell us that all the time. I want to tell you about a company, though, that offers the best of both worlds. And what I mean is the service is impeccable. They show up on time. They're clean. They're well cut. They're good people. And they offer the best pricing out there. Who is it? 888 Heating. Right now, their special is unbelievable. You get a new air conditioner. You get a new furnace. You get a whole home humidifier. All of it installed by the professionals at 888 Heating. And they give you, check this out, this is the kicker, 5 years to pay for it with 0% interest. 888heating.com is their website, or you can check them out on referrallist.com.
Okay,
Thanks
Dan,
for
Mark,
waiting.
what is all this YouTube
We want to be
fighting
trained.
about?
Oh,
What,
no.
what is it? And Mark, you look at your phone too much on the show.
No, I was trying to explain it.
That was ordering Grubhub for
Yeah,
premium.
well, you sure get paid a lot for just looking at your phone all day, just so you know. Go ahead. What's the fighting about?
No, it's that they were trying to equate.
But I missed the whole open home
open
med
home.
stuff. It must have happened while I
So
was
they
gone.
kept this lady's deposit $5,000.
Who did? Oakwood?
And then they were able to sell a home
For $20,000
more. Now, granted, it was never said, and that's why I tried to do this AG, that it was not within their right of the contract to do it. What
Who are we
was
talking about?
Oakwood.
Yeah.
Is it good customer service for repeat business? And
Is it nice?
Is it? There you go.
Is it nice?
That's the whole thing.
But they
why-
gave the deposit back.
No,
they
Oh,
didn't.
they haven't given it
Why
back.
are you asking?
Oh, there's a big fight on YouTube with Mark and Dan and our
No,
YouTubers.
no, it's
like
not.
they're
It's
all.
me. It's not.
Oh well, they keep saying stuff about Mark, so
Yeah,
I
'cause
just
I told them.
maybe he got sucked in.
But my
They
whole
can't
thing
help it.
was, is
Mark's
it
the
good?
target.
Is it good customer service? That's what I'm trying to explain about it.
What about MedBed?
MedBed was just that
They're good people.
the deposit didn't get back. It took them like months to get.
Yeah,
the
but
deposit
as that owner found out, he
Right. He got it right
and
away.
he said, "You got my number for anything in the future."
You just think it's a little unethical that they sold the house for the 20 grand plus more and didn't give the deposit back.
And she thought she was going to get the deposit back.
It's complete bullshit is what it is.
But contract's a
But the
contract.
contract is on
Oh,
it.
that's so
But,
bullshit.
but here's another thing, Suzanne. I'll guarantee you, a verbal thing, they would fight tooth and nail.
You
and
know
say,
what?
"Hey, that was
I
verbal."
disagree. A contract's not a contract. Frank Duran could charge some small print and say, by signing this, you give me everything you fucking got.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's
You're
valid.
always to the extreme.
No, you can't. There's a lot of shit that you can't fucking do.
But the thing about it is, it's what's good
But
customer
builders
service.
can keep earnest money.
Apparently, in this
Right.
case, they are keeping
But,
it.
but not only that, if it's,
They do, and they
but,
can.
but it was put in there to
But
see if they were hurt.
But
They weren't hurt.
technically,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
technically, earnest money. It was,
They were never hurt by it.
No.
it was to
they
keep you from breaching. It was liquidated damages.
Right.
That's what it used
Yeah,
to
but
be.
they weren't hurt by it. In fact,
No,
they made out
they-
better in the
exactly.
deal.
Shit.
Yeah.
They ended up making $25,000.
Right.
So
And this is a young little couple, and not only that, there was no written cancellation.
And the husband lost.
But your argument on, another, I guess people might buy 2 homes from the same builder, but
or
it's not like you did. You said, for
repeat
business.
He said you might come up and
word of mouth.
Go higher.
Reference it.
Word of mouth. Reputation.
I'm just saying it's a little different than like a restaurant. It's a fucking house.
No,
you're not going to frequent it every week.
Okay, so repeat business is now you bought a little house, a starter home. Now you want to go buy a bigger one.
No, I know. I wonder if you ask 10 people, how many people have bought 2 brand new homes from the same builder. I bet it's pretty fucking few. Have you ever? You're like 107. Tom, have you? I know you haven't.
Haven't one.
Bought 2 brand new homes from the same builder or more. Anybody? Doc?
No, how often do you buy 2 brand new homes anyway?
That's what it's just the repeat business part, you're just wrong. You're just flat fucking wrong. The people on Facebook are right. You're an ass man. You're the ass man.
You're the bulbous man.
No, it's total bullshit.
You are not the smartest bulbous in the package.
It's total BS you're keeping it.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Mark, what kind of sales did you do, sir?
Are you there, Tom? Can you hear me?
What kind of sales did you do, sir?
Yes, it was inside sales. I sold steel. We were a steel distribution shop.
Steel?
Yes.
Okay. So listen, man, you have a W-2. Did they ever pay you a salary?
It was a base hourly plus a commission.
Okay. And did you get your base salary for the June you worked?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Ah, so they purposely withheld just the commission, right?
Yeah, but wait, he already acknowledged that they had him sign something understanding the new policy.
But first I wanted to clean it up. I wanted to know all they withheld was the commission, right?
Yes. May I interject this? So when we were presented with this, they inserted a bullet point which said the employee must be employed for the prior entire calendar month and also at time of payout, which basically, in my opinion, that exempts them from, if someone leaves, paying for a prior month's commissions. I mean, I'm just...
Well, here's what they say. According to that, a lot of companies do that because a lot of companies, here's what they say. At the time of the sale, you're not entitled to that commission. Some of them say, unless you're employed at the time the commission is paid, or some of them say you have to be with the company a prior 3 months or 2 months or 1 month. And the reason they say that, they don't want people on the way out the door amassing a bunch of sales and then leaving like a final FU and getting a big commission check. Now, listen, we can argue the fairness of it all day long, but as a commission salesperson, there are terms and conditions. The question is, did you sign it? Did you know it was a contract? Was it fair? Meaning they can't, even if you sign something, they can't make you sign something that gives up too many rights or is what's called unconscionable or egregious.
Even if he didn't sign it, who's to say their policy wasn't that way previously?
You're right. They don't have. That's what I was going to get at. You don't even have to sign a contract. If they have a commission policy that they can prove is in place for everyone, they can apply it to you. So my simple question is this. I'm not asking for your opinion on whether you like it or not, or whether it's fair. I'm asking you, does everyone understand, basically, that if you make a sale, you do not get that commission unless you are working there the prior 30 days?
It was in the writing. When we had the meeting, no one brought it up.
How is it stated in writing? I'm just curious. Do you have it in front of you?
Yeah, it was stated under a keynotes section.
Go ahead.
It's bullet point number 3.
And
it says an ISR must be employed for the entire calendar month and time of...
Go ahead. That's all it says, the entire calendar month?
And at time of payout to receive those monthly
Well, hold on. What does that mean, the entire calendar month?
And previous month.
He didn't say that, though, Mark. That's what I'm getting at. He said it the first time, but not this time. So why didn't you say it this time, the previous month?
I guess I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Okay, I asked you before the break, and you said you had to be employed the previous month. Now, when you just read it, there was no word previous at all.
Yeah, correct. I misspoke. You are correct, Tom.
Okay,
yes.
So tell me, what does it say? Do you have to be employed the previous month or not?
It says for the entire calendar month. It does not say previous.
I don't even, okay, so what it means is, I would assume, and again, you may have a good case here, and I'm trying to help you, and that's why I'm bringing this out. It doesn't say the previous month. It says you must be employed the entire calendar month and at the time of payout. I would understand that to mean that if you make a sale on the 4th of April, you have to be employed for the entire month of April, and if they pay you on May 1st or May 2nd, that's the normal payout. You got to be employed then too.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So when did you work June 24th? What is the normal payout of commission?
The third week of the following month.
Oh my God. So you would have had to have been employed all of June.
Yes.
And all of July.
No, just all of June for the prior month.
No, it says you have to also be paid.
Well, yeah. I mean, in my mind, it's kind of
It says you have to be employed on the calendar month and the date of payout.
I see what you're saying. Oh, I see. Yeah, exactly. Correct. So literally,
it's kind of ambiguous. Does it mean the calendar month of the sale, or does it mean the calendar month of the payout?
Correct.
What does it mean? I don't know. Does it mean listen, you made the sale, let's say June 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but they don't pay that out until May 10th. Do you have to be employed for all of May, or do you have to be employed for all of
The way
April?
I understand it, he would still have to be working as of May 10th, and he would get paid, then he could quit on the 11th.
Okay, because he has to work the whole month he made the sale?
Which would be the previous month.
Yeah, but it doesn't say it. It is a bit ambiguous. Okay, so Mark, the best you can do is you go to the labor and hour division. They're very strict. Wage and hour, I mean. They're very strict on getting people money if they believe you've been screwed. You know, because it is not totally clear to me. It really isn't.
Okay.
And usually when something is a bit ambiguous, it's construed against the people who drew up the contract. Okay? So I don't know what that means. You have to be employed for the entire calendar month and the date of payout. Well, what does that mean? I don't know.
I don't think it's that ambiguous.
Really, Mark? Is it the entire calendar month of the payout or the entire calendar month of the sale?
The entire of the sale.
Where does it say that?
Well, I'm not saying it does. Just when he reads it, logically
read
it seems
No,
that way.
read it. Read it again. Just that paragraph. What does it say?
Must be employed.
No, you're not reading the whole thing, damn it. I want the whole thing read. It doesn't start with must.
And an inside sales rep must be employed for the entire calendar month and at time of payout to receive the monthly incentives.
What the hell does that? I'm sorry, it's not clear to me.
How do you read it?
It's not clear to me.
Go ahead.
I read how Mark said it.
Well,
there.
yeah, no, of course, but it's not clear.
Well, okay, then let's say it is ambiguous, and I can see where you're coming from. Then it's even more strict. Then I don't see why it would go in his favor in any way.
No, but I'm saying is you should. I would try. Let's put it that way, Mark. I wouldn't give up.
Because if this guy makes a huge sale in June and they fire him on May 1st, he loses the commission.
Yes.
Then he would lose.
Because the payout is on the third week of the following month.
But that's not fair.
Well, it depends. If you get fired for cause,
No.
it doesn't even matter if it's for cause.
You don't need to. In Colorado, they can just fire him.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nobody disagreed with that.
So they sue him out of a huge commission because they fired him.
But if he could prove that that's why they're doing it,
No, they're not going to give a shit.
You can prove you can fire people for any reason in Colorado.
They wouldn't care either way.
But if they're doing this to everybody who made a big sale, now that's
There you go.
Right.
But technically, they could fire him right on the day before payout.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
it's not going to, and that's not reason for the labor board to do anything, right? That's just the way it is.
unless it's a way they can prove it's been.
I always thought they got paid once the sale was paid. So in other words,
But Dan, you're missing it.
They earn it.
You agreed to work that way when you signed that. That's what he did.
No, they earn it when
you earn it when the sale's made,
right.
But you don't get paid unless you're employed for the entire month plus the date of payout.
Right. No, I understand what it says, but it's screwing the salespeople.
How?
Because if they
because at some point they're going to have to stay there,
right,
just to get paid out,
right,
even if they don't make any sales. Which is
why wasn't this guy smart enough to wait till July 1st at least?
When was he fired?
You know, Mile High estate planning is now Blake Harris Law. No matter what the name, the services are the same. Blake Harris will help you with a will or a trust or anything in between when it comes to estate planning. A good estate plan is about protecting you while you're alive, as well as your heirs after you pass. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. And if you need to ask him any questions whatsoever, they're free. 833-ASK-BLAKE. Imagine that. He'll answer your questions, and he only charges you for what he actually does for you. Free legal advice, 833-ASK-BLAKE. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Vital Home Services. And for Vital Home Services, you need people you can trust. Fix it 24/7. I trust in my home. FixMyHome.com is the website. I know the owner, and I know he's committed to honesty and value and customer service. 100% satisfaction guaranteed, and all prices are quoted up front before work begins. So, if you need to find any problem in your home, FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939. And remember, they'll be there, and for $39, find any problem anywhere, and you don't have to pay any more than that unless you want the work done. And then you only pay for the work. They credit you the $39. That's FixMyHome.com. There's another website I want to give you where you can make an appointment for floor coverings. They'll come to your home and show you whatever you're interested in. Floor coverings, man, there's so many of them right now, and you can get them anywhere. You can go online and get them. But the secret with Simply Floors, Inc. is getting first the expert advice of Buddy Mitchell. I love the way he explains everything. You'll find the right floor for you. Then you get the best prices and the best installers and the best overall experience. That's simply the way anyone should want it at simplyfloorsinc.com.
Shouldn't your wheat be able to weather the weather? Plant with confidence by choosing Biotrensic, a collection of seed treatments powered by nature's microbes and proven to help protect crops and increase yield. Biotrensic M36 has been shown to increase wheat yields by 3.7 bushels per acre under heat stress. Set your plan for success. Ask your retailer. Biotrensic by Indigo. From questions, we grow.
They're all taking that time slot, trying to be the new Rush. I think that's bullshit.
That's the sound of people all over Colorado living their healthiest lives. Eating, talking, exercising, laughing, smiling, taking family photos, sharing and experiencing joy. Everyone deserves
It's a dirty shame.
doing the things they love.
This is.
Your teeth and gums are a big part of that. If you sometimes worry that your dental issues are affecting your
Can't call the
health and
phone
holding you
number.
back from doing all the things you care about, it's time to get a free consultation with Colorado's Clear Choice.
Yeah.
Dr. Joseph and Dr. Mackard and their team will evaluate your teeth and determine what
Sure enough, it's a
options
good
will best
call,
serve
too.
you. Today's the day
Who's
to
that?
get back out there.
Just came in for,
and do something
it
good
says,
for your health.
I have an issue with the business on blah, blah, blah. This shop took my car and didn't fix my car, and I have a case number from the police. Please call. But then the phone number he gave is like 14 digits.
Hey, Jamie, do you guys irrigate out there on your farm for that? Do you? Where do you get the water from? Is it the...
It's a spring fed.
Oh, it is, really? Okay, must be a pretty good spring.
I've got videos of it. It's pretty cool.
Is it artesian spring, or do you gotta go down there?
No, it's artesian, and then we have holding ponds that we build on the property to make sure that we capture the amount of water we're allowed.
Gotcha. So you bought that with knowing that you had water rights there and you could do it there?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big deal to make sure that we had the water rights. I mean, I didn't realize how important that is for Colorado. So,
yeah. Especially this year, geez, in California and stuff, that's all you hear about.
First, you heard about the guys actually having water trucks and actually going to steal water.
Steal water, yep, I did, I read that.
Where are they stealing water from?
Hydrants or wherever they can find a standpipe.
Who was
A
stealing?
lot of the marijuana growers out in California, they're stealing water.
Because of the drought.
Right, but they're from hydrants and everything.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So they drive around with a water truck, find a standpipe, and just steal it. Yeah, we wouldn't have bought the farm if we didn't have guarantee on water rights.
You know what's funny about that shit, though? You know they can change that shit. Right?
What's that?
Don't you think the government, if they wanted your fucking water, they could take it? If they want your building, they can take it. They took my building under eminent domain.
I think they can.
Did they?
They give you a fair price for it?
Fuck. I mean, when they took the building, they didn't give me a fair price for it. They give you the price of what the value would be if they're not going to be doing what they're doing, if you want to look at it that way. Meaning they were changing that entire crossing. It was called Peoria Crossing.
Okay.
When Peoria Crossing was done, if my building was still there, it would have been worth about triple.
Okay.
But they took my building.
Right. Peoria Crossing is where? Peoria and...
It's the first main train station coming out of DIA.
You got money to spend.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to act like I made out like a pauper by any means, but my point is the government can take your building if you don't want them to. So I don't know why they couldn't take your water rights if they wanted
Tom
to.
Martino,
Your 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, realcbdthatworks.com. We were talking about CBD products from Panacea Life Sciences and Panacea Life. They also have, the label says Pana. It's short for Panacea Life. That's what you'll see on the website. Somebody asked how many forms they come in. And again, I want to make this clear. He said something earlier that was really amazing based on some studies, how it's getting people off of tranquilizers, or what you call scientifically, what are they called?
Benzodiazepines.
Benzodiazepines, and they're helping people get off of those, which is wonderful, and cutting the use down tremendously. They also help with a lot of anxiety. Different forms. Okay, you have the pure oil. Do you sell it? The oil.
Yeah, we sell the oil.
And what do people use the oil for?
For a variety of different things, from reduction of anxiety to pain.
Is that done as, I have an eyedropper. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah, we call those tinctures.
And I put them, okay, that's the CBD oil.
Right.
And I put it under my tongue. Is that the right way to do it?
That is absolutely the right way.
Now, would that work, though, if you rubbed it on the thin part of skin, like on thigh or wrist? Does that get absorbed or not? No?
No.
Do you have anything that does that?
We've got a couple of products that actually will drive the CBD across the skin. So when you look at that, capsaicin will help, menthol will help. So like.
But do you have a product ready to go to rub on or not?
Yep, we've got heating and cooling sticks. So
Okay,
it's kind of like
you
a deodorant that you rub on.
And so that is for on the spot healing, or for pain, or is that for absorption?
I would primarily use that for spot pain reduction.
Okay.
Okay. If you're looking for overall pain reduction, I would do an oral product, either the drops or the fast or the oral soft gels.
Okay.
You know, I'm sorry, Tom.
Go ahead.
Well, what makes them different from anybody that I still find impressive, and I don't use their product, but
Suzanne does.
I know she does, but what I find very impressive is they literally plant the seed, they grow the seed,
they cultivate,
harvest
right?
the seed.
That's right.
You package it at your own facility.
Everything.
And then you ship it out.
Seed to sale.
People, yeah,
they
that's
control
incredible.
They control it all.
Or
they don't
land,
just
land to brand.
Is that big in
Land to
like
brand. I like that.
in the marijuana business? Is that a big thing as well? Do you know?
Yeah, it is. I mean, so Colorado law for the marijuana side, which by definition has higher than 0.3% THC, used to be that you had to grow your own marijuana and then you could sell it in your dispensary.
Oh.
So on the hemp side, it's more of a commodity-based business. But the reason why we bought the farm was to explore new genetics, but also have complete control of our supply chain, because we saw a lot of quality issues. So hemp that had pesticides on it, for example, or heavy metals, or just really poor material in terms of manufacturing.
And there's not a lot of there's not a lot of companies doing what you're doing. What about the lab you guys purchased? What was that for?
That was an EPA lab, right?
Yeah, it's the old EPA building out in Golden. So it's a 51,000 square foot building. We've retrofitted to specifically extract or process hemp material to extract hemp oil and to formulate and manufacture.
Man,
yeah,
they got a lot of money rolled up in
Why
this
did I?
deal.
Oh, I know what happened. I was advertising that you had a pharmaceutical grade lab, and somebody got really pissed off at that and said it's scientific but not pharmaceutical. What the hell?
We are CGMP certified to produce food.
What does that mean? So what is pharmaceutical grade? Not that I care.
Well, it's more about how the FDA would look at you in terms of how you process or manufacture your products. There's 21 CFR Part
But it's
211.
still pure as you can get, right?
Yeah, it's clean for human consumption and pet consumption, and I take the products myself. And if I felt it was dangerous or that there's anything not safe, I wouldn't take it.
Of course. 303-713-TALK. Teresa, what's going on with your RV issue? What's happening, Teresa?
Hi. Well, we purchased our RV on February the 15th, and from the day we purchased it, we had to leave it there because the auto leveling wasn't working.
Uh-huh.
I've had it there. This was an Integra, which
when did you buy it? When did you actually close on it? When did you buy it?
February the 15th.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Was it new? I missed that.
Yes, it was new.
And the auto leveling wasn't working. Listen, with RVs, it's not unusual to have a bunch of things when it's new go wrong. But where is it right now?
It's still there. We've had it back.
Why?
May 28th is when we took it in the last time. I called June 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Finally got a hold of somebody on the 15th. He told me it wasn't even assigned a technician yet.
Everybody's hurting. I know you don't want to hear that. This is terrible. You bought it in how much actual time did you get to use it so far since February?
Well, if the auto leveling didn't work, probably not much.
I mean, no. Did you actually use it?
No, I've taken it. We've literally put 20 to 30 miles on going back and forth.
So you've not used it once to camp?
No, not once.
What was it about? What are they, about 400, 500?
Well, what did he buy? I don't know what you bought. What's
an Integra, Coach?
Integra.
27U.
Yeah, how much? Oh, that's a smaller one.
What does she mean? 27,000?
27 feet, basically long.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Well, it's 30 feet is what it is.
How much was it? Just
we
roughly.
ended up paying $105.9, I believe, for it.
Okay.
But we bought every single insurance and everything, so it was like $128.7 or something like that was the total.
You know, I'd flip out. I just got to be
I would
straight.
be so pissed.
I'd camp down there. I'd do whatever the hell I needed to do. I can't put it any other way. I'd be so furious.
So what are they going to do for you?
Well, we've actually asked for a refund. They said because it's used, now it's been titled in our name. Not only on top of the $128, we've made 6 month payments. We've paid insurance. We've paid $3,400 to license it.
No, listen, I get it all. You don't have to go through it. I know it.
Yeah.
It sucks, and I would be so pissed. What do you want us to do? How can we help you?
You know who owns this place, don't you?
Who?
Guess.
I can't even
guess.
Olive.
Camping World.
Oh, my God.
You know, maybe we need to pull up his promise when you call up his executive hotline. If you're not happy, I'm not happy.
You know what?
Marcus, come on.
No,
come on, man.
He got into the wrong business here, man. He's not doing very well. Are they owned by Camping World?
My husband was able to talk to the manager down there at Gander. Gander said, the guy said that he would.
Oh, hold on a sec. Hold on a second. I got to take this break or we'll be up against the end. Hold on.
There's not much we can do to help. But once again, if this was mine, I would fucking drive it down there and fucking park it there and talk to everybody walking in.
It's already there. It's there.
Oh, that's true. It's already there. I'd hang out in front of there telling everybody.
And maybe you can get them a sign. Don't you have a used sign that you can give them?
You know what, though?
Isn't
That's
that
not a good
helpful?
idea. Let me tell you what I've been working on. Okay, want to hear it? I got a giant, big white van, not me, but a friend.
Yeah.
We got washable spray. He wants to put, when we have something, don't buy here until you talk to me.
I love it.
Okay, so
They do a live right from Denver.
maybe this is our first one.
We should do it. It's ridiculous, man. She drops $105,000 and can't use it. I don't give a shit what the reason
John,
is.
are you listening? You just, yeah.
Give her the money back.
Yeah. You want me to go tomorrow? Are you listening online? Just let me know, John. Are you listening right now? Oh, by the way, hold on. Free legal advice when you need it the most. When you're in an accident, there's an injury, what do? You need help? You can get free legal advice from John Fuller. John Fuller seriously will talk to you free. He'll let you know what he thinks your case is worth, if it's collectible, if he can help you, or maybe you can do things yourself. It is free. And in fact, even if you decide to hire him, and there's no obligation, you still won't pay out of pocket. He only collects on contingency, meaning he only collects from what he collects for you. John Fuller. Call for legal advice when you really need it. 303-597-4500. Pass it around. 303-597-4500. Rocky Mountain IV Medics are the people I use monthly at my house. They come to my house and give me IVs, IV therapy. Did you know IV therapy is the #1 therapy for people who are in distress, who don't feel well, who are dehydrated, have migraines or hangovers, whatever it is, they can help. And they don't charge any more than an IV bar, but you get it in your home. Ask about NAD. That's a cellular rejuvenation. It's a coenzyme. I love it. It helps your body make energy. Rocky Mountain IV Medics. You got to call them. You will love them. You can call or text for same-day appointments. 720-987-2155. That's 720-987-2155. If you're looking for slabs, what am I talking about? I'm talking about granite. I'm talking about marble. I'm talking about quartz. I'm talking about any stone that you want. You can get it wholesale. You don't have to go anywhere else. You get the same price as a contractor at Granite Liquidators. Now, here's the best part. When you shop for your stone first, you're in control of everything else. Then you go out and shop to match it. And you shop the whole slab. So you can actually plan what you want to use for your counters or your backsplash or your showers or your library, wherever you're going to use granite or quartz or marble. GraniteLiquidators.com. In fact, when you pick what you want and buy it at wholesale prices, they put your name on it and store it until you're ready. So no matter what contractor you're using, maybe you're going to use the Art of Granite. Or no matter where you're going to go to get your home improvement contractor, you can shop for your stone at GraniteLiquidators.com.
What is that? That NAD? If you injected it directly in his face, would it maybe shrink his head a little bit?
No, it would make it bigger.
It would make it even bigger?
But it would make his brain overheat.
You got any big patches? You got big patches of CBD?
Look at this bulbous body. Look at this bulbous body. His head is really normal size.
Not your fault. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I can make a CBD helmet.
I want a patch you can put right over his ugly face.
It's called a mask.
Two birds with one stone.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
For you, it's called a mask.
How come you guys don't have patches? Oh,
you do have patches, don't you?
Do people use them?
Okay. Where do you put them on? What do you?
It doesn't have any CBD in it.
Oh,
that's for your face.
No,
it's for your face. That's for your face.
So we've got two things. We've got patches. We have kinesiology tape. So the idea is that I don't think they work systemically.
They don't absorb.
You actually put this in a mask and then
We could do that.
you put CBD in it?
Sure.
Well, why?
Oh, really?
In your case, I put chloroform in there.
No, those are we have to try to augment the business during COVID. We actually did a lot of PPE stuff. So.
Oh, you did? Do you have another one of those masks?
I'm thinking about wearing one when I go play poker because I had such a bad, I was so sick from COVID.
What are you afraid you'll get it again?
Well, what happens if I do come down with the Delta variant? And most people, it's just
Why do you think your natural immunity isn't going to protect you from the Delta variant?
No, I'm just saying I believe it will.
Okay.
And I believe the vaccine
You're
will.
just saying in case.
Yeah.
Did you get vaccinated also?
If I wear a mask while I'm up at
Shit. If I was in the hospital 3-4 weeks, I'd be getting a vaccination every weekend.
Did you get vaccinated?
Oh, of course.
Which one?
The Pfizer. All I'm saying is if up there, in the mountains, you don't know who you're dealing with at a poker table. So wearing a mask to me is no big deal. Because I'm not sure if I were to get sick.
Plus, it'll help your poker face naturally.
Absolutely.
And Mark looks better in a mask. No, but the point is,
You're a fucking child.
what do I have to lose?
God.
you do.
What do I have to lose by wearing a mask while I'm playing poker, right?
Nothing.
I mean, I was so sick, close to dying. And I don't
He was
know.
really sick.
Oh, man. When he got out, he was
He had
still on
to have
oxygen.
He had to have oxygen. He thought it was going to change his life.
So my feeling is, what do I lose by wearing a mask?
Nothing.
And I don't know what will happen. I get the Delta.
And those people up there in that fucking, what is it, Gilpin? What county's that?
No,
Teller? Gilpin? I'll tell you, anybody that lives up in that fucking Gilpin County,
Right.
In a 2-week period,
fucking backwood,
I got one here too.
Jamie, in a 2-week period, he's at my house. We're all together.
2-week period. He was there that Friday, and 2 days later.
He got sick, right? But in a 2-week period, then I'm flying with my pilot, my co-pilot.
oh, and he had it.
He got sick,
And his
then
kids.
my kids are they're spending the weekend with me. They go home,
And he didn't get it.
And Tom never got it.
Good for you.
I'm convinced I got it on the fucking
Thank God.
Frontier Airlines. I'm convinced of it. Find out the frit.
And I'm convinced I got it from Walmart.
Well, so
From
but
who?
you're also
Walmart.
really good about
The only
taking
place I went other than his house
D,
was to
zinc,
go shop.
Guys need to get it.
quercetin, CBD.
Although looking at your face,
Specific
you definitely
immunity,
have something.
You're also doing really well wearing a mask.
You're such a child.
Yeah.
So was I.
And washing your hands and all that.
I did that.
Hey, I know you are one
I was scared
So
that I'd
the
get
only-
sick. Yeah.
I only
Free lunch.
saw people the entire time. Tom and Dave.
Okay, listen, I don't have too much time before we go to a
My
break.
son
Before
was
we go to the top of the hour, but I want Teresa to know we got a plan for you, Teresa. We're really pissed, and we're pissed with you. So we have an idea of what we're going to do.
Okay.
At Gander.
You're going to like this, but you're going to have to wait.
You have to wait. I'm going to tell you what I think we're going to do here, okay? Hold on. Not what I think we're going to do. We're almost positive we're going to do it tomorrow. And you hang on. It'll be our first venture into guerrilla marketing, okay?
Or warfare.
Or warfare. I'm Tom Martino. People stick around. We'll tell you what we're going to do. Kathy, we will help you with your roofing issue in Arizona. Phil's got a question on the Delta variant. We'll get our experts.
The IRS.
No. Not only should we send that truck out there and you can spray paint and wash it off. Well, you fucking Dan in the truck, he'll scare off any fucking customer.
You don't just wash it off. There's a process. Hold on. So are you listening online? Oh, hold on.
Probably power wash.
John, are you?
Get Kevin with that guy with the collar suit.
We should get guy with the cow.
Seriously, advertise for him.
This guy, Jamie, this is a true story.
Listen, guys, listen. Hold on. Let's talk to him. Hold on. Well, hold on. This is our guerrilla market. This guy does.
You wear the cow suit?
He's doing the
No.
Instagram.
This guy, here, I'll show you the picture.
You'll love John. Hold on.
It's true. The best story.
We ought to have him come in one day.
Although it's not sensible. It lacked all sense.
John!
Why don't you just get a big...
John, listen, you're on speaker in the studio with all of us. We're wondering about doing this tomorrow, and we're thinking about not Camping World, but Gander. Or should be Camping
No,
World.
Gander.
Gander is where she bought
It's
it.
owned by Camping World.
And what?
That's fine. I don't care where you. Just remember, confidentiality on it. My name is John Baker.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, but then we'll want you to call in and take pictures of the van out in
Dan
front.
Miller.
No problem.
With the saying on it. Let's just say, I would say something like this. I would say, don't buy here until you call 303 Martino.
It does. It's got a big.
Whoa!
Yeah. How much can you fit on there? Can you fit on there? Well, no, I got an idea. I'll send you the script. You tell me if you can fit
Nobody
it.
knows who it is.
All right?
You're going to want letters big, though.
And then,
How big's the truck, dude?
it's a big, what is it, like it's almost as big as a Splinter van,
Like
right?
okay. It's not like 40 feet or anything.
That's fine.
It's
Do you have the address? Do you know what part of town?
No, I gotta find all that out. I'll let you know.
Okay, just send me everything in an email.
All right, thank you, bye.
That's gonna be so cool.
Okay, so let's look it up again.
It depends how big it is.
Are you gonna do?
Okay, Mark, it's like a Splinter van. It's big enough to be seen.
Okay.
Here's Gander.
So that guy, that picture you saw in the cow suit, so he brings his car to one of our automotive shops. It's got a carburetor. It's an old car.
Yeah.
The guy quotes him $400 to rebuild the car. Okay? So the guy calls him back up and says, look, I can't rebuild it for $400 because it's also missing this, and the other. It's going to be $500. So you can either come get it, I won't charge you anything, or it's going to be the additional $100. And the guy gets so mad because he's not going to redo it for the $400 or whatever it was, that he dresses up in that cow suit and hangs out on the corner in front of his shop for an hour and then, disappears. I mean, it's like, I don't understand the cow suit. And I really don't understand why. In how I just told the story is exactly what happened. It wasn't like he showed up and he was like, oh, it's going to be that extra $100.
It's a bait and switch.
I mean, everything was up front as it could get.
That's funny.
But the cow suit, it's like, why are you wearing a cow suit?
This is doing animal rights.
Or it's like against the chicken place. Who's a chicken place with the cat? Chick-fil-A or something.
But why was he wearing a cow suit?
God, if any of us could, because he's a fucking Looney Tune. I guess really to get attention, but I think the cow suit was get off, and no one's going to associate it with the automotive store.
Yeah, people probably going, where's the Chick-fil-A? And I'm hungry. You cook chicken.
We've had some fucking nuts. I went out to one house and met two legitimate nutballs at once. They called into the show, had Tom convinced that the mailman was stealing their fucking house, and breaking into the bank accounts. I mean, took them hook, line, and sinker. So I drive out there to sit down and go through all the bank accounts and to start doing a little forensic accounting. Oh my God, they were the nuttiest motherfuckers I ever met. I mean, like, legitimately insane. And to find two of them that live together that are that insane, not like trying to play a joke, like, they really thought this shit was going on. Oh my God, were they crazy. Two nutballs living together. Kind of like Dan and anybody he'd live with. Oh wait, he did live with a nutball.
I did.
Sure fucking did.
So do you live up in Blackhawk?
I got cabins there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice place, actually.
3 miles outside of Blackhawk.
You go up past the casinos.
But let me tell you, taxes up there are so low.
Yeah, when you buy a car and shit, you register it up there, right?
If you buy a car up there, all the only taxes is state taxes, sales tax.
That's where I live.
Oh, is it really?
2.9. Maybe 3.
And property taxes are a quarter of what they are here.
What do you got, 2 acres?
No, 1.3.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Is Blackhawk Indian Lake?
You know, I
Then
don't
how
think
did they
so.
legalize gambling only there and elsewhere?
They just passed, it was only $5 way back when, but to keep the old Ghost Town, or Gold Rush Town, and then they did it in Gilpin too, or Teller County, Cripple Creek. But the funny part is, if you, there's no integrity left in what they were trying to do to kind of keep it that old Gold Town. I mean, if you go through there now, I mean, is there any of the originals left? Maybe a few.
Maybe a few.
So
but they did it. The counties were
Yeah.
basically going broke. They couldn't support their schools or anything. This is the way
So like that town. We actually, Suzanne's best friend grew up there.
So, Mark, the script will be Ender sucks, S-U-X. For details, call 303 Martino.
You know what? We should put we should do a Troubleshooter logo. Do we have one?
Yeah, but okay. I have to send that to him right now. This is all we can get.
Yeah.
Spray on.
Or can you do, for more information, call Tom Martino? I'm just trying to think how to attach your name. How about the other side of it? There's going to be two sides to the van, right? Are we going to do just one?
I don't know. I'm going to leave that. He's pretty good at what that.
Maybe if Dander rips you off, call Tom Martino.
Yeah, but I want to be careful. You can't get nothing. There's nothing there.
I don't know.
Ender sucks.
Yeah, I don't know what you
call.
could get sued on, period.
Well, if you say...
Well, I guess ripped off, yeah.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help a common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You know, we were talking about the quality of water off the air. That's why, even more so, you should call waterpros.net. Paul the Waterman. His systems are the lowest priced, best computer-operated, low-maintenance systems. You can get whole house filtration, under $2,000. You can get whole house conditioning under $2,000. If you combine them, under $3. Listen to this. A water fountain, at the sink in the kitchen, under $1,000, fully installed, reverse osmosis, triple filter, computerized. And it doesn't take any power. The water powers it. Why were we talking water quality? I happen to have Dr. Jamie Baumgarten with us. He was talking about it.
That's a crazy thing. I mean, we should warn people about that.
And we're going to. And then Dr. Baumgarten is with Panacea Life Sciences. We talked about CBD. We love CBD. RealCBDThatWorks.com or PanaceaLifeSciences.com. And we were talking about it. And it's called a forever poison or a forever chemical. And again, I want to credit where credit's due. Was it on all the stations? I see CBS 4 here. Was it on any other stations? Do you know, Jamie?
I just picked it up on Channel 4.
Yeah, so I want to give credit where credit's due. This is what I'm reading from. They're calling it elevated levels of forever chemicals. Now, explain why they call it forever chemicals.
Well, these are polyfluorocarbonate or alkylated compounds, and they're just really impossible for the body to break down. And so they're used for heat resistance and for waterproofing, a lot of different things like Teflon pans and waterproofing.
Is this the same chemical that was found in the water in that movie, Blackwater?
Dark Waters.
Dark Waters.
Yeah, absolutely.
With Garofalo.
With Mark Ruffalo. Yep.
Yeah, or was it?
Mark Ruffalo.
Ruffalo, I'm sorry.
But that's the same movie. It started in the 90s, and the chemicals actually do some really cool things. But when it gets into the water, gets in the body, it's impossible for our bodies to get rid of it.
Did you say just 2 drops in an Olympic-sized pool is enough to do you in if you soaked in that?
So chronic accumulation, safety levels in terms of chronic accumulation in drinking water is 2 drops per Olympic-sized pool or 20 parts per trillion.
20 parts per trillion?
Yeah.
Now, did they say in the story? I didn't read it, but they talk about the 20 parts. Did they see that there were parts found?
There are certain repositories here in Colorado that have elevated levels of PFAs or PFOAs, and particularly, I think
they say the CBS poured through the findings of 13 water systems that have levels above 20 parts per trillion.
Correct. Now, that's out of Massachusetts. Previous to that, it was 70 parts per trillion, so 7 drops in an Olympic-sized pool.
But it's still bad. I mean,
still bad. Yeah.
And they're saying that the water districts are Arapahoe County with a level of 23 parts, and we're saying per trillion. And wow.
Hey, Doc, explain where it comes from. I mean, how does it get in the water supply?
So, where this first came to note, actually, in this pseudo-documentary movie, Dark Waters, is from chemical plants that are making the material. And again, it's used to make Teflon for nonstick pans, Teflon coatings for carpets. But here in Colorado, more than likely it's coming out of firefighting foam that contains these materials.
Oh, from all of our firefighting.
Yeah. So, I mean, the reason why it's interesting to us is that...
So with the purification plants, they can't take this out?
They can, but they have to put in unique filtration systems, and they have to figure out what they're going to do with the resin that they use to absorb the materials. So one of the reasons why we're interested in this, believe it or not, hemp plants, when you plant the material, will pull the PFAs out of the soil. So in terms
do the benefits of hemp ever stop?
No.
No, I'm serious.
I mean, so in terms of carbon
it's an amazing
fixation,
plant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so.
But wait. If it pulls it out of the soil into the plant.
So in areas, so what you do here, Mark, is you actually would use hemp fiber plants. And you would actually take that fiber and either burn the plant to destroy the chemicals, or you convert it into something that would not give you exposure, like rope or paper. Okay. So there's a way that you can actually pull that out of the soil, remove human exposure, and stop the leaching into drink.
That's crazy.
PFAs. Now, so there were systems found in even Colorado Springs, I think, here or not. I'm trying to find the list of water systems. I'm trying to browse this.
Now back to where you started, though. The water filter systems that the water guy sells.
Absolutely.
They automatically get rid of this stuff.
Well, I don't know how automatic it is, but they do.
How about a filter like on my refrigerator?
Yeah, it's effectively
a basic carbon filter is going to get rid of this stuff.
Should, yep.
But if you're drinking,
especially the ones that Paul the Waterman had.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not talking just the whole house, though. I mean, anything.
No, you can have. He's got one on. He's got the drinking fountain he can do for you at the kitchen sink, and it'll definitely take that crap out. Now, Teresa, here's what we're going to do. We have our guerrilla consumer advocate with a van, a big white van, and we're going to drive out to Gander. We're going to get some action. We're going to drive out to Gander. Now, I want to make sure we all have the same spot. This Gander is, let's see, is at the one we're going to. You got to help me out here. Is it... Damn it.
9870 West I-70 frontage road.
That's it. On West 48th Avenue, technically. 9870 West 48th Avenue. In Wheat Ridge, right?
Yep.
All right. This is Gander. We're going to park out there. And we're going to put a big, giant message on the side of that van. And they will know by no uncertain terms that it's us. And then we're going to need your contact information to get in touch with you. And then we're also going to contact them and ask why the hell it has taken so long for a person who bought a $100,000 RV, $100,000 in February, and they haven't been able to use it.
Did they ever fix it? Did you ever bring it back and the leveling system worked and then it broke again?
It's not just the leveling system, Mark. She has other problems too, right? Don't you have other problems?
Not really. We've never dewinterized it.
She probably doesn't know because they haven't used it.
Yeah, we've never used it. But yes, and on the paperwork, the first time it told us it was operator error. So when I went in, I said, would you please, when it was time to pick it up, I said, show me how it works. I mean, we've had a big, RV before. I said, show me how it works. So he goes to show how it works, and what comes across the screen, take to dealer. So then he says, oh, let me just reset it. So he reset it, and we went on our way. We weren't causing problems. But then when we went to, my husband said, okay, now go fill it up and stuff because we're going to use it. So I went and he said, first of all, you better check it. Same thing. It came across the screen, take to the service department. So we took it back.
I'm right on Gander's site, Tom. I love this. It says Gander Outdoors, and then it's got a picture of Marcus Lemones. If you're not happy, I'm not happy. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Need anything? I'm here to help. Call my office, 866-232-8990.
Now,
we called and never heard back.
Is yours at that particular Gander?
Mine was, yes. Well, okay, mine came from the factory. I originally purchased one in October. They told me they had to have the money by November 1st, put a $5,000 deposit down. That way it would get on the what do you call it, the factory.
Okay, so then what? Then what? Keep going.
Okay, so then I kept calling and calling. Yes, it's according to schedule. Yes. Finally, it was not. So I said, hey, I'm going to take my grandkids to Disney World. I said, I just want a refund so I buy something else. She tells me, well, you can't get a refund.
Okay, so Teresa, without going into like a 6-hour dissertation, eventually, no, I'm just kidding with you. Eventually, what happened? They sent it from the factory, but you bought it from Gander. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, okay, hold on. Suze, get her information. Have her send us any paperwork she has. We will target them tomorrow. Robert, what is your question for Panacea Life Sciences? Did we hang up on him? Robert, I don't know what the hell. Did you know what his question was?
It was something to do with hemp and hand sanitizer. I wasn't clear of the question.
Okay. I'm sorry, Robert. Somehow that was hung up on. But do you guys make any sanitizers or anything CBD-based like that?
Yes, we do.
You do, really?
Absolutely.
So what's the benefit of the CBD in it?
Well, cannabinoids and hemp extracts are actually antimicrobials.
Wait a minute. My God, this plant is amazing. It's a natural antimicrobial?
Yeah, so it's been shown to actually kill MRSA.
Holy crap.
Without inducing other variants, if you will, of bacteria, gram-positive bacteria. So,
CBD is remarkable.
I got a basic question. So you've got pot, and then you've got CBD, right? It's not the same plant at all, or is it the same plant?
So, Mark, they're the same plants, except for the hemp plant has been specifically bred using old-fashioned Mendelian genetics to have less than 0.3%.
In other words, the only reason it's just that the THC...
They bred the THC out of it.
Yeah, you don't need the THC, so for the CBD... okay, Robert, what is that question you had? You're back. Go ahead.
Yes, I heard that the biggest problem Denver has with their water is to pull the hand sanitizer out of it. Wait. And I was wondering if hemp would help with that.
Oh, hold on. Robert, let me get this straight. Are you saying that the problem with water in Denver is all the people using the hand sanitizers?
Yes. They said the number one problem was trying to get that out of the water. Everything else they have a pretty good handle on.
All right, hold on, and we'll address that coming up.
That's only alcohol.
They did.
I've never heard that.
I have no idea what they're talking about or why that would be a problem.
Well, they're saying it goes into the wastewater and gets through the wastewater.
I know what he's saying, but it's alcohol.
If you look at the amount of drugs they find in
that's
the water,
the prescription.
It is unbelievable.
And those, I heard, can't be filtered out, only diluted. Is that right? Why?
You got to find some way to metabolize it.
Do you realize that they're in our fucking...
Oh, the amount is insane.
But if you do it reverse osmosis, wouldn't that filter reverse osmosis?
Yes, but they don't do that. O'Brien Legal Services is our expert for real estate. That's Brad O'Brien and his team. O'Brien Legal Services. That's OLSlaw.com. I'll give you the number in a sec. Let me tell you about it. Anyone who goes through real estate without hiring an attorney to at least look over these docs, you're stupid. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it just takes a few hundred for a real estate attorney. Deputy Doc's going through one right now. He had Brad look over some documents. Why not? And what about when you have a boundary dispute, right? Or a border issue, or maybe an easement, or adverse possession, or eminent domain, or covenant problems or something going on. Don't try to handle it yourself. And by all means, don't go to my brother's next door neighbor's sister, or don't go to an attorney that you were referred to by a third cousin. Go to a real estate expert. O'Brien Legal Services. That's what he does every day. OLSlaw.com, 720-370-7388. But it's especially important nowadays with people buying homes together. You need that partnership agreement. OLSlaw.com. I'll tell you something else important these days. A criminal defense attorney for DUIs. A lot of people think, oh, it's just DUI. They call any attorney. No. The attorney for a DUI has to be versed in both motor vehicle and criminal defense. Joe Lazzara does that. Listen, I hope you never need him. But no matter what the issue, what the accusation or the charge, don't ever shop for a defense attorney when you're in trouble. I've done the shopping for you, Joe Lazzara. You can depend on him. 303-429-6200. That's 429-6200.
So Jamie, so on the story here, nobody knows what the cow had anything to do with it. Right. So what was, he says did not keep his word, so what happened on the thing was that he rebuilt a carburetor. And to rebuild a carburetor, not many people could do it. You know, only Kevin can do it. So he says, okay, what it sounds like, it'll be about $200. He dug in the carburetor, and he says, he called back up and said, no, it's bigger than I thought it was. It's going to be $280. So that's why it was.
$80.
Well, it was $80. And then he started bitching about it. And what about this? What about it? And Kevin says, this isn't going to work out between, I'm not going to do it. And stuff. He put his carburetor all back together, put it in his car, and just wouldn't do the work because he knew it was going to be a problem. Wow. And this is what he did. But he stayed out only there for like 15 minutes.
He probably spent $80 on the cow suit.
But nobody could understand what the significance of the cow
Hey, tomorrow my day. I'll be late. Let's do this after I get in. I mean, if not, that's okay to do it. But
I'll tell them what time to go out there.
Yeah, okay. But, okay.
Or maybe you should swing by there with John.
Yeah. You know I'm going to be up there.
That could be a good fucking deal.
What time are you coming in tomorrow?
Where to start, Todd?
Maybe 11, 10:30. No, not maybe 10:30 or 11. Maybe, I might just do. If I do it, rather come in half. I might just do a full hour. I'll let you know. Or I was thinking about taking the day, but with this, I don't want to take it the whole day.
And we can get you this house.
I'm going to do a vacation if I don't. Should do a gas suit.
Hey, speaking of that, how's your eyes? Is it all back to normal, Tom?
Yeah.
So the fluid's back in, gas is gone?
Dan can do something that will blow your mind. No shit. It's one of his stupid.
God. Yeah, Jamie. Why?
It's like a stupid pet trick.
It's worse than a stupid pet trick.
It's a stupid mark trick.
So he can look at not all, but the majority of people's shoes. I can't even see yours, and he can tell you where you got your shoes. Those are pretty generic, man.
I think I can do it though.
Bet him lunch.
Our team of experts is
Wait, for everybody.
before rates go up.
You got your shoes on your feet.
Bam! You owe lunch.
You know, that basically is essentially what they do in New Orleans.
Oh, I got it. He got okie doke there.
30 years ago. No, I didn't get one. I just walked away.
He gave the guy his shoes.
That's what I heard. You're also in New Orleans.
What's that?
Same thing when I was in New Orleans.
So there's that Iowa's at least 30 years ago.
Hey, see if Del Frisco's is delivering right now.
We'll get it through Uber Eats. Just from
So were you down in New Orleans? Did they do it for you, or you just heard about it?
No, I got the same thing.
Okay. So
It's got to be rampant down there.
We did it to the lawyer.
Marco Bendinelli, attorney of life.
And he fell for it.
And then about 20 minutes later, I'm looking at his shirt. I go, you always wear nice clothes, Marco. I bet I know where you got that shirt. And he fucking did. An attorney. He probably uses it on the jury now.
Where you got your shirt.
I know where he got his.
His wife.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. So, Robert, let's talk about hand sanitizer, by the way. Do you? We don't believe, by the way, we're tossing this around. Hand sanitizer is alcohol, and alcohol is easy to get out of water. I mean, so Jamie,
No.
what do you think? Do you hear about? Have you heard that's a problem to get out of water?
Well, it shouldn't be. It's just heat it up, and the alcohol is going to evaporate.
So, Robert, where did you hear that?
I heard that from the head lady that's over water about 2 years ago. They asked her what was the biggest problem with Denver water.
The head lady
She said,
that's over water.
The hand sanitizer of Denver, the lady that's over.
No, we get it, man. We're just kidding. Listen, but what about CBD? Did you hear that they made a hand sanitizer and that CBD is a natural antimicrobial?
I don't know.
It is.
He just said that was the number one problem. So I'm saying it must not be just alcohol. It has to be in something else, in some hand sanitizer.
Well, not regular hand. I don't know. There might be something we're not talking about. But you know what another big problem is, Robert? Prescription drugs. You know, we take for granted that things can be filtered out of water. Now, if you get a water system like Paul the Waterman, waterpros.net, seriously, they go through the reverse osmosis and the deep filtering, the triple filter system that will get rid of but prescription drugs of all kinds. What people don't know is in commercial water supplies, they don't filter that stuff out, do they? They can't afford to do that on a mass scale. So what they do is dilute it. So really, every single prescription drug that's put down the drain eventually gets into our drinking water. Is that right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, so I don't know if you've ever had a septic system.
Yeah.
And if anybody actually is on an antibiotic or a chemotherapeutic, it'll kill your septic system because it kills all the bacteria. And that may be what Robert's actually seeing with the alcohol when they're trying to recondition the water, is that it's killing the bacteria that's needed to actually break things down.
Oh, so I want to know something then. Knowing what you know about water, do you ever drink tap water?
No, I don't.
Now, would it be harmful to you to take a shower or bath in it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's one of those things that your skin, the largest organ in the body, is made to protect you against a lot of different exogenous substances. So.
Holy crap. Man, Paul the Waterman's getting all kinds of plugs.
Do we get a commission on that?
Yeah, I know. He's good, though. He really is. When I'm serious, when I tell you, it's the lowest price system you'll ever get, ever. I mean, and he doesn't even use fear, which he should. I mean, there's all kinds of fear out there in water. What's your, Robert, oh, I'm sorry, Robert, we had you. Okay, go ahead. Mike, what's happening with you, Mike?
Yeah, Tom, great conversation. I have a real problem with these parts per million, parts per billion, and parts per trillion. Because the EPA was created in 1973, and we had the baby boomers drinking water out of the tap, and everything was fine. And then we started testing our waters. We started setting our own bars, and go back in time when we could only test parts per 100,000. And that was the bar, but then they were able to detect change, and they could test parts per million.
Mike, a lot of people make that same argument for like cholesterol levels, and everything else we can test for. Really, they do. And for hormone replacement and all that stuff, like we're creating problems to solve. But hold on. On a serious note, half serious, the baby boomers that drank all that water, look what the hell they're doing to this world. I mean, I wouldn't hang my hat on them. My God, am I a baby boomer? Technically, I don't know. Am I? How old are baby boomers right now? I don't know. So, do you believe after 45?
45. When were you born?
53. So 45 till when? Till 61?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike, do you truly believe, though, that we're exaggerating a lot of this stuff now?
Well, yes, I think that the technology is in the interest of those that profit from that technology, and I think that we've raised the bar to the point where the tech is so expensive and those processes are expensive, and somebody's reaping the benefits. But we don't need parts per billion and parts per trillion, but yet they've created the tech, and now they want the filtration to back it up. For what? I mean, we have so many people alive prior to those standards being set.
Yeah, because well, hold on though. Prior to those standards being set, though, we didn't have as much pollution. I mean, we have way more pollution now. What do you think, Jamie? I don't think we're exaggerating when it comes to water and air pollution.
No, I mean, so Mike, when I first heard about these PFAs, I completely agree with you. You know, 2 drops in an Olympic-sized pool, crazy, right? But the more you look into it, it's worth understanding more about how we can actually remove those, and not necessarily with osmosis systems, but can we apply natural approaches to remove the PFAs out of the soil in this case. So, but I'd agree with you for the most part, but in this case, once you get those in your body, they stay there and they build up over time.
Hey, wait, kind of on that same level, Doc. If these kids now that are so used to scrubbing their hands with that hand sanitizer all the time, I mean, eventually, it kind of take COVID out of the situation.
No, it hurts. It hurts their immune.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, eventually, isn't it going to be easier for them to get the common cold and the flu?
Yes, it is, Mark. Yes, the same with face masks. I mean, Doc, right? I mean, think about it.
Well, I don't know about the face masks. I mean, I think that's a separate issue.
No, I'm talking about microorganisms that enter your system, help you build immunity.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that you should walk around. Listen, I'm not anti-mask if you need it, but in many cases, wearing it when you really don't need it is bad because you're not allowing your body to acclimate.
Well, you develop your immune system over time, right? So when you get exposed to minor viruses or minor bacteria, that you develop that immunity over time. And so if you're removing that exposure, you will be more susceptible towards
minor viral loads are not bad for you. You want them to breathe them in as children, and you want them to really, to develop immunities. Kathy needs advice. I'm going to start with Kathy, and we'll finish after the break. But Kathy, you're in Arizona, and is that where the house is?
My folks are in Arizona. They're elderly. And
let's talk about it. What's going on with them?
Well, they had a monsoon in July that damaged the patio. They have a big patio with the misters and everything.
Right.
And a bunch of water damage happened to the backside of their house.
Okay.
So they had people come in, and they said that that the wind caused the roof from the patio to come off, and that protects the backside of the house. So they've now had to move out of their house. They've had mitigation people come in.
Are you kidding? Wait. Why? Because the patio roof had to be replaced?
No, it damaged the whole backside of their house. The water came into the bedroom, the living room, the whole, they have a big ranch-style house.
Okay, so are they saying that, so are they talking mold?
Well, yeah, they came in and they removed all of the drywall, and they brought in fans, and now they're living in framing on that whole side of the house.
Okay.
And this happened on the 2nd of July.
All right, hold on, and we'll come right back to you.
Where would you really see reverse osmosis systems? Your ice cubes. What? Your ice cubes are crystal clear. Reverse osmosis versus just regular water. It's amazing. That's the biggest thing you're going to see. I'm sure you have in your house, right? Did you notice that? How clear your ice cubes are?
Honestly, I just scoop it up, put it in your drink, and I don't really think about it. Let's take a look at it.
Oh, they're crystal clear.
If you're at a party or a Christmas party or something, people ask you shit all the time, being the doctor, God, my shoulder's hurting a little. Or is that all bullshit? It never happens.
It happens all the time, but you know what? I like those conversations. I'm socially awkward. So. Better than making small talk.
Is there anything you can do for his face?
I'm going to bring a CBD-infused mask next time to reduce the swelling.
Hey, Jamie, how about
10 seconds away?
How about some trepanning? Think that would help?
Oh, yeah.
That would be good for you, guys. Yeah. More trepanning.
Sheridan Auto Tech is an auto repair facility and maintenance facility you can trust, because it hits on everything you want in a maintenance facility. First of all, honesty, experience, value, and knowledge. That's Uncle Kevin and his team you can trust. He's been Sheridan Auto Tech for many, many years. Listen to this. 2 locations on Colfax and Lakewood and on Havana in Aurora, just south of 6th Avenue. For more, go to SheridanAutotech.com or give them a call. More than 20 years in business, 303-455-7242. SheridanAutotech.com. So many people are approaching retirement and they haven't planned and they need income. Did you know if you had a lump sum of money, you can buy income? Really? You put it into an account that will then be converted to income, and they invest it in such that guarantees you income for life. Or you can put a little away each time to build toward that. That's one of the investment strategies you can find out at My Money, My Bank. Oh, excuse me, it's mymoneymyway.com. mymoneymyway.com. You'll also find out about Become the Banker plan. Now, that's different from the pension for life. That's about doing, like an overfunding of a life insurance on purpose for tax-free earnings. Whichever one you're interested in, at least take the step to investigate at mymoneymyway.com.
This is the new CDC mask guidance by county. Red is
bad.
When did this come out?
This morning.
Wow. Where are we at? What's Douglas?
Is that CDC or is that state? Just the
CDC.
state.
Okay. So Douglas, you're in moderate.
Douglas, you couldn't put masks back on in Douglas. They'd probably fucking kill you.
And then Jeffco is moderate.
Boy, CDC sure got everything going yesterday, didn't they? Holy moly. Did you see what they told school now? K through 12 should be wearing masks all the time.
It doesn't matter. My kids won't. Their schools tell them to go fuck themselves.
Ponderosa?
That's private. Yeah.
Ponderosa wouldn't have their kids wear fucking masks.
I don't know, but I know that our kids' school has in the height of it.
They don't. I don't think.
Douglas is a substantial risk. You should wear a mask.
Yeah, of course.
But they're just looking at your face.
I think. No, they said substantial risk. Dan should wear a mask.
Your face is
a risk.
Your face is my cake.
I'm telling you, we got to send Dan out there with the van. That'll be the double whammy.
And when you send Mark out there, and Mark says, "Well, that is the cowhead."
See what I deal with every day?
Your face. Hey, he owes us lunch if you can get on the horn with Del's. I want that tomahawk
Del
steak.
Rico?
Yeah.
Not Del Taco.
Did you see when Mark?
All expense down.
See, this was when Mark was visiting Sheridan.
Del Taco.
Mark is visiting Sheridan.
What is this?
That's Mark. He's visiting Sheridan.
Tom Martino, referralist member, Sheridan.
You've never seen that picture?
I haven't, but I've heard about that. And the cowhead.
The guy picketing Sheridan with the cowhead.
He's only there for like 15
What did the
minutes.
fucking cowhead have to do with
Nobody
it?
knows.
Did anybody
Nobody
ever
knows.
find out?
Well, Kevin told me about it.
I didn't even believe it.
Kevin, take a picture of it. And he took a picture and says, Kevin, you better get closer. It's so funny.
Kevin was so funny, too. It's just like,
He's like, yeah,
what are you
whatever.
going to do? Guy's going to put on a cowhead for 15 minutes. Okay.
What would he protest that poor man for?
Exactly.
Okay, it was a carburetor. So Kevin's going to rebuild his carburetor. He told him, okay, it'd be about $200. Okay, so we got into it, and Kevin tore it apart. There was more parts that were issued. And so we called him up and said, hey, it's going to be like $280 or whatever. And the guy says, what? You told me $200. And then he kept on arguing back and forth. So then Kevin says, okay, I'm done. I'll put your carburetor together, put it back on your car. We're done. I don't want to deal with you. And that's what it was.
Getting rid of all my web searches.
Which I think he knows how to identify a
When I
bad.
keep this page up, otherwise it takes 10 minutes to relaunch.
You guys talk about frivolous things when the real important things in life are like Norwegian women's beach handball team was fined because they wouldn't wear bikini bottoms.
See, I never
that's an important thing.
They were nude?
This is, Ken,
What?
don't lose this. I'm taking a picture of that.
The German gymnastics team wore
They were.
I agree that
I never realized that they were told that they had to wear.
that's ridiculous.
So volleyball or women's. I didn't even know that was a sport.
That's the official.
What's the point of watching it if they're not going to wear bikini
It's the official garb.
I know, but why, they shouldn't have it.
No, actually, it's ridiculous that they can't wear these.
Well, no, I thought you have to have uniforms, though.
No, they have these bikinis.
Yeah.
That's the uniform.
But that's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous to make them wear bikinis.
I agree. They should be able to wear whatever they want.
Well, I mean, I think what they're wearing now are these,
Yeah, but what would you have them wearing playing beach volleyball?
No, they wear.
This is what I was talking about, that I was trying to tell Trish about, and you and I were talking about this.
You forgot?
And he's like, no, I don't remember.
Volleyball.
That's why you forgot.
No,
they wore these elastic
volleyball.
pants.
We're back.
They look like jockey
Taken
clothes.
advantage of as a kid by that Olympic doctor that the FBI just completely dropped the ball on. Let's talk about it at 2.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We talk about a lot of important things. One is insurance. So many people just automatically renew insurance because they haven't had any problems. But they don't realize that your insurance premiums creep up a little and your coverage actually creeps down. It's really bad. Get a free insurance checkup. It's really going to do you one of two things, either get you a great deal or make you feel comfortable with what you have. And it's free. 303-996-9000, 303-996-9000. That's it. Free. TheInsuranceHelpCenter.com. Phil, what is your concern? Hi, Phil. What's going on? And I haven't forgotten Kathy. Hold on, Kathy. Phil, go ahead. I wanted to get this comment in or question.
Yeah, I was just wondering about this Delta virus that's floating around on top of the COVID-19. Isn't there a test for the new
variant
strain there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. What about it?
Well, the Delta is there a test that you can get the test, or is it the same strain?
Well, no. They can actually isolate to see if you have the Delta, but
Yeah, but the main test you would go get somewhere, like at Kaiser, is just going to be
you don't have to concern. You don't have to concern yourself with it. They'll just show if you have a viral load or not. Now, what they're going to do with the PCR test remains to be seen, because they used to amplify it 60 times to tell you if you had the virus, which was kind of disingenuous because no one got infected above 24 cycles and even 18 cycles, but they called it a case, unfortunately. That's unfortunate. I don't know what they're doing now, but it's what they feel like doing. For example, when they wanted the country to look like it was getting better after Biden got in, they lowered the cycles to make the country look better. So if you didn't have if you had below a certain amount, they wouldn't even report it. So it's really weird the way they do it. In the early days, they wanted the country to look bad. They wanted everything to look bad, so they would report anything from 60 amplifications down. When the vaccine came out and they wanted to show progress, they reduced the number of amplifications they would report. Listen, if you don't believe me, you just need to look it up, okay? Because it's true. And I'm not saying, by the way, the PCR test isn't accurate. It is very accurate. But the point is, if you have a viral load that must be amplified more than 24 times to see, it is likely you will never pass anything on, nor will you be infected. But they were calling that infection, and they were making people isolate with that. So it really wasn't scientific, by the way. And in fact, most everything is seat of the pants with COVID. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I don't want to be in their shoes. I don't want to be making those decisions. It's a hard thing to do. Kathy, back to your roof. Now, what I need to know is, where do we stand? They needed major repairs on their house due to water damage. They had to leave the house. Are they back in their house now?
They are.
What's the problem?
But it's still just at framing. Well, I guess I just want to guide them correctly. We're both out of state, my brother and I, and the guy that came and fixed the roof, well, the original roofer, they called right away, and he said, I'm out of town, but I'll come, and now he's disappeared.
Oh, I see. So you're telling me, let me get this straight then. Are they in the middle of the job and started not showing up?
No, they have the mitigation done, and then they're going to have their restoration, right, which is the drywall and all that. The bigger issue is that the guy who originally did the roof, they paid $33,000.
You mean the one that failed, the roof that failed?
The roof that failed, yes. Now,
did that roofer ever know that his roof failed?
They called him on July 5th, and he said, "Oh yeah, I can do that." Yeah, they told him they already had the restoration company coming in because there was flooding.
Did this roofer say he would make the? Did this roofer say he would make the roof right?
Yes.
When did your parents have the roof done prior to this leak? When did they have it done?
2019. April 2019.
What was the name?
For $33,000 worth of repairs. They've lived in this house by the builder. You know, it's a retirement community.
I get it. How much? In 2019 they spent how much?
$33,000.
And but who was the roofer?
It was a guy. Now they're finding out he doesn't even have a license to be a roofer. It was just called Immaculate Services, and he's done this to a bunch of people in this retirement community.
So if this guy's a lying, cheating ripoff, he most likely doesn't have anything you can go after. I mean, it's one of those unfortunate things. It's a ripoff.
Yeah. I guess the big question is now the guy that has repaired, they had the patio repaired. That was the bigger damage. Because he's saying, oh, the guy put the wrong paper on, you know, like technical talk about roofing.
Right.
And he said he would testify. But now he's telling him that the entire roof, which is a shingled roof, you know, clay shingles in Arizona, needs to be replaced again for another $15,000. And I don't know how they can give them some guidance on, do they need to replace everything?
Okay, here's the deal. I see where you're going. For all we know, the new people might be exaggerating. I mean, it sounds to me like your parents are in a pickle because it could be that everyone's lying to them, really. And honest to God, I mean, I wonder if they needed all this restoration work they had done. Did insurance pay for any of it?
They've paid for the first phase. They're still not done. They're living
if the roof needs to be redone, the insurance should take care of it. Have they put in an insurance claim?
No, they haven't done that yet. They've only put the claim in for the patio roof because that was where all the water came in.
But who put how about all the other work, the damages? Did they put in for that?
Yes, they have put in for that, and that's pending. They're starting that job. I mean, they've started the mitigation in terms of drying it out and tearing everything out. And so now this new company is going to come in and do the insulation, drywall, and repaint.
Okay, here's what I'm happy about. That they're getting a lot of this taken care of by insurance. What I'm not happy about is they have a scumbag roofer they dealt with in 2019, or they have a scumbag roofer now. I mean, we don't really know. So we're going to have to help you remotely try to figure out a good roofer in that area so they don't get completely ripped off.
Tom, do you think maybe one of our public adjusters knows a public adjuster in Arizona?
Maybe. I mean, we got to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere to make sure they don't get entirely ripped off, because I fear that the advice they're getting might not be genuine.
Well, a public adjuster is definitely going to help them no matter what.
I want to get a referral, though.
Yeah, that's fine. We can ask Matt or ask someone if they got there. The
Deputy Doc, can you spearhead this? We'll get Matt to give us a... We want to recommend a public adjuster who will come in and work with your parents, and they will help your parents. But don't get one until we find one for you, okay?
Yes, thank you so much.
All right,
you need another opinion on that roof.
Yes, and then, I think the public adjuster will have plenty of opinions on that roof.
I don't think the roof is an insurance claim, though.
No, it's not.
It's not. Well, it was at one time. It was replaced. Yeah, but that's not.
There wasn't an event though that did.
Yeah. I know. But I want to see if a public adjuster can figure it out.
I'll call Matt after the show and see if he knows anybody.
So I just want a public adjuster to help know if they do need the whole roof.
Right.
Even if it's not an insurance claim, if he can help them with the other shit.
Right. Oh, what happened to him?
Just he signed with the Kraken.
Who?
Trubauer, Philip Trubauer.
He signed with whom?
With the Seattle Kraken.
Really?
Yeah.
So, wow.
Was he a good player?
Yeah, he was our goalie during the,
Didn't do very good.
no, he did a great job during the,
Playoff game.
no, he did a good job.
I don't know shit.
The Colorado defense wasn't up to
Is that what it was?
Grubauer got them into the last round. I mean, he was amazing during most of the playoffs.
ColoradoPainCare.com is the website. The number is 303-GOT-PAIN. Now, when I tell you I'm a patient, I mean it. I've been there, and the first time I saw the doc, they did a trigger point injection, which helped me immediately. Then I got into physical therapy. Then we did what was called a deeper injection. Now, this is not meant as permanent therapy, those injections, but they really help. In fact, they get you over that swelling pain cycle that sometimes is a permanent solution. And then I'm doing physical therapy, and I'm doing a follow-up on Thursday. If you have pain of any kind, they work with all major insurance. Please call them. 303-GOT-PAIN. People are selling houses like crazy, but not everyone wants to list their home. They don't want to do inspections. They don't want commissions. They don't want to mess. They don't want to wait months for a contract to close. They want to get it done in a few days. If you're in that position or you're just curious, how about Home Investors? They will write you a check immediately. Now, you may think, they're never going to give me what I want. The point is, you'll never know unless you call them. And since there's no obligation, why not call them and find out? It could be the answer to your prayers. 800-44-BUYER. 800-44-BUYER.
Jamie, you got any, besides the normal promo code stuff, any stuff you guys want to?
Just right now, it's just Tom.
Okay.
But thanks for asking.
Yeah. I know for a while you were getting rid of the pet stuff, or not getting rid of it, but pulling it out.
And then July 4th.
Oh, yeah, we're trying with that stuff for July 4th, trying to help with the anxiety with all the fireworks and that stuff. So.
Oh, okay. I did that together on
And then the month before you had the gummies, right?
Yeah, well, I just
Tom handed that.
You got a special? Sure.
You must have sold a lot of gummies, though, didn't you?
When we make gummies, we make them like a million at a time.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So again, you guys, whenever you want, come on out. We'll show you what this thing looks like. Give you a tour, and then you'll understand the scale in terms of what we do.
Holy shit, 1 million at a time. What's the biggest product?
Our sublingual tablets are the biggest one.
I just got my testosterone through something similar like that. I can't. I fucking, it made my stomach so sick.
Really?
Well, you took it on an empty stomach, but then Tom said you're supposed to take it on an empty stomach.
I can't take it before I work out and do that again. I've only been taking it 6 days. Usually I get these pellets. So he's like, hey, instead of getting the pellets anymore, we've got these tablets you put on your tongue, they dissolve. So he shows us some. And he showed me one that Suzanne would take, and it's like 5 mil. It's 5 whatever. It's so little, it's unbelievable. Yeah. I'm thinking, okay, cool. So we get to the pharmacy, the compounding pharmacy, and they give me mine. They're fucking huge, man. They're like a Tic Tac, or not a Tic Tac, a chiclet, a piece of that square. So you got to put it on your. It's about 20 minutes to dissolve.
What does it taste like?
Shit. And then the pharmacist tells me, hey, try not to swallow your spit either. Because you want it all soaking in. Right. So by the time you're done, you got a fucking mouthful of spit 20 minutes later.
You can chew it. So if you have something like that, you can chew it, just hold it in your mouth. So the two surfaces will be under your tongue.
He said, do not do that.
Why?
I asked, I didn't have a follow-up.
No, because I think it would dissolve quicker, right? It'll chew it up and
dissolve quicker.
Yeah, but you just can't keep it there.
And you also absorb through your buccal surface, which is inside your cheek and underneath.
So I go under my tongue, then I might put it up here, and then down here. It just takes forever.
So I would just chew it.
The mic's on. I didn't think of that, but you're right. You chew it and stuff. It doesn't sound like it's dissolving very fast. Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But is it any difference between the cheek or under the tongue? Because one of them's called sublingual. And what's in the cheek?
Buccal.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. If you give it something sublingual, you can. I mean, they just call it that because they don't want to have 2 names for it.
Okay.
So I mean, if it goes into your cheek, it's fine. If you put it between like your gum and your cheek, it's the same as putting it under your tongue.
I put it. I don't think your mic was on because I hear that.
know now, but he had turned it off just when I came in. I do plugs, butt plugs.
Yeah, they're the best.
You know.
Except when you have to take them out.
So when you
Well,
swallow it,
suppository.
is that what caused the stomach
There are
upset?
people that do drugs.
Yeah, so I swallow all this spit at the end. Then I go in. By the time we get to cardio, which is about a half hour into my workout, when I finish cardio, my stomach turned green, man. I thought I was going to puke. I had to basically sit down, and then an hour later it still hurt, so I just threw up. And then
Mark, I never heard of that happen.
That's the acidity of that preparation.
it tasted like bile. It was that burning wolf.
Right before you throw up, you
Oh my God! It's
You don't like trophies. Do you think you like the pellet better?
I'm going to give these 30 days, but I think I'll go back to the pellet, man. As barbaric as it is.
Well, try that chewing it up and keeping that, because that's absolutely right, because now you're
He's saying,
so much less.
he's saying you can chew them. The damn pharmacist said.
No, not trophies.
No, and then keep it in your mouth.
Yeah, but it was a trochee. That trochee where you had to keep all the blood, that's not right. You don't do that. All you do is a normal dissolve and let it go.
He's like, don't swallow the spit.
He's crazy. I mean,
That's what the pharmacist told me.
Well, that's bull. I mean, Stephanie's been taking fucking trophies for years and years, and she just dissolves it like a lozenge under the tongue. The time it takes to dissolve and go under there is enough time.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Steve, hi, welcome to the show. What's going on, Steve?
I want to commend you, Tom. You are a brave soul. If you had typed out a post on Facebook what you said about COVID, you would be banned for 30 days.
Really? What did I say?
Oh, for sure. Well, you're not saying anything that a lot of people aren't saying, but just to be quick, I love your analysis of this test. I have a chemistry degree. I'm an analytical chemist by trade.
Yes.
I have developed test methodologies. I have worked out the accuracy of test methodologies. Here's the thing about the rapid test.
Yeah.
I had to go in for a colonoscopy, had a rapid test. They come back in 5 minutes and say, no, you're negative. Okay, you can have your surgery. Tom, there is no way that these populations of viruses can be grown 5 times, 10 times, 100 times population in 5 minutes to give an accurate test. The rapid test, that's all I'm talking about now, is a joke.
Yeah, it is.
It cannot be accurate. It can't be accurate.
Yeah, but even the CDC says you can't depend on the rapid test. What they said, if anything, though, the rapid test will give you a false positive, which is better than false negatives.
Well, the other thing is the Delta variant.
Yeah.
That's a genetic test. There's no way there's not even a full approved test to quantify the amount of Delta variant. So if people say they're broadcasting it all around, and now, if I'm not mistaken, Polis even said the Delta variant's in Colorado. He has no idea because there's nobody testing genetically at that level, especially for walk-up testing.
You know, you're welcome to call, Steve, when we have more time. We love hearing from you. I'm out of time right now. Please call back. You can almost always get through if you listen. I'll tell you when lines are open. Thank you. Don't forget realcbdthatworks.com. Tom in the promo code for 30% off and save all your problems for me.
Sorry, Tom.
Okay, so if you need me to send you a bottle of product, you can take pictures.
No, I have it. I'm so sorry. I will give that to you.
And
I was waiting for my videographer so I could look professional, but I'll do it.
And did you get back to you on